Hello everybody and welcome to the matchday coverage here on NFTV, and we have a jam-packed day for you, starting with, in a few moments time, the watch along. The lads will be talking about the lineups and then the match will kick off. So if you're watching it on TV, turn it down, listen to the lads, interact in the live chat with the lads. About 10 minutes after the full time, on the same video, that will keep the video cameras rolling, because round about 4 p.m. the lads will begin scoring the players for about 20 minutes to half an hour. Interact with the lads in the live chat. After that, about 4:30, it opens it up to the fans. There's a link on this video at the top of the live chat and in the description if you want to have your say on whatever happened in the results later on today. So stay tuned for that. But first, we are proudly sponsored by Manscaped, who have their brand new product, the Manscaped 4.0 lawnmower. It's just launched and I'm about to talk to it before I hand over to the lads for the watch along. Thought the Euros was fun? Well, football is back and our friends at Manscaped are here with a masterclass to get you ready for the new season. The leaders in men's grooming have done it again and just launched their 4th generation performance package, including is their new lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. The 4.0 will even have Paris Saint-Germain jealous of your well-groomed package. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the new performance package 4.0 by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code NFTV. The performance package 4.0 by Manscaped is here, and wow, this package is class from top to bottom to take your grooming game to the next level. Inside, you'll find the lawnmower 4.0. You'll also get the weed whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, formulations, and 2 free gifts. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is a masterclass and gives you a clinical trim on your balls. The off-season brought our team changes and we even saw Messi transferred. This season, I'm teaming up with Manscaped thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0. The new technology has been upgraded my midfield and it makes sure my pubes aren't messy anymore. The 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge Simeratic blade to reduce grooming and accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a whopping 7,000 RPM motor. A new multifunction on and off switch can engage a travel lock and gives you the ability to turn the 4,000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Oh, and did I mention this trimmer is also waterproof. Rain or shine, the mates at Manscaped have you covered. Speaking of covered, do you have ear and nose hair like Sam Mulliner? His are the worst. Well, have no fear. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the weed whacker to chop your worst weeds up to the top of your nose and ear. Just don't look in Carl Bryan's nose. The nose and ear hair trimmer is also waterproof and it provides skin-safe technology which helps you prevent nicks, snags and tugs in those delicate holes. Then you can't even forget about the liquid formulations, their Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant for pre-game and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner for half-time balls check. Trust me when I say this, lads, your balls will thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts with the Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the travel bag. Your boys will be singing for joy wearing the boxers. Remember, you get 20% off and free shipping with the code NFTV at the final checkout at manscaped.com. Let's just say that again, 20% off on premium products with free international shipping with our code NFTV. With our code NFTV at manscaped.com. Kick some overgrown pubes, hairs and grass this season with Manscaped. Let's get started with today's match action with the lads at NFTV.
Alright everybody, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. My name's Matt and football is back. It's the start of the Premier League season and I don't know about you lads watching at home, but I am so excited. Packed crowd at St. James's already. We've got a few of the lads there. They'll be bringing you live reaction after the game from the stadium as well. We'll be keeping you company at home if you haven't got the chance to go to the game and if you need some company for the watch along. I'll be joined a little later by Carl and by Brandon as well. Fingers crossed that those lads can get on all right. But I'll be keeping you company for the first little bit of the pre-match build-up, just about 25 minutes to go until kickoff now. West Ham hosted at St James's Park by Newcastle United, of course. We'll be talking about the lineups, going through them shortly when the lads join me. We'll talk about the predictions for the season. We'll be optimistic and pessimistic. And don't forget, you can get involved in the comments down below. I can already see a few people saying hello. Hello to Jay in Atlanta, of course, familiar face on the channel, friend of the channel over in America. How are the lads? Hello all. Hiya, Jay. How are you doing? Hopefully you can bring us some good luck on the opening day of the season. We've got Graham Norton, also a member, saying, I hope he's had a good summer. I have, thank you very much. Here's to another season of hope and expectation, shrouded in pain and angst. Yes, not a lot of investment over the summer, but we will be talking about the arrival of Joe Willock a little bit later on as well. So, kicking things off, we will take a quick look back at the end of last season. So we finished the season on a high. If you're watching Sky Sports news, Sky Sports build up to the game earlier, Graham Souness was saying that, we picked up a lot of points towards the end of the season, but those teams that we played weren't on the finest form. We beat the two last games. They were already kind of relegated. They weren't in the right headspace to be beating them. But I still think that the form we ended last season on will take a lot of courage from, especially because we haven't changed the squad up too much going into this game. We'll come into the lineup shortly, but of the final games of last season, in the last 4 games, we took 3 wins, and the only game that we didn't win, I'm sure you remember, is the Man City game. So obviously champions last year, beating us narrowly 4-3 with quite a performance from the lads. Hell of a game. If you were there for the watch along as well, you'll know that was quite a roller coaster of emotions for us here on the watch along as well. Say hello to a couple other people. Lewis Barton, hiya mate, how are you doing? Glad you could join us. Let us know where you're watching from today, guys. If you're watching from home, I know a couple of the people at the match like to watch the build up to the watch along, joining us. So say hello if you're at the game. And yeah, if you are watching the Sky Sports' coverage, you might forget that there's a game on at Newcastle United because all the pre-match build-up has been about the late kickoff. But of course, here on the channel, it's all about Newcastle United here. We'll be talking about the previous games in the Premier League, the games that happened on Friday and Saturday, how those teams got on as well, who to watch out for, and how we think, if we think we're going to be a relegation team this year, how our relegation contenders got on. I've got a little friend, other side, joining me. That's George. I've had him for years. He's my little mascot. He's got a Newcastle top on. We're matching today. Let me know who you're watching with at home as well. So yeah, like I say, we've got the watch along. We'll be providing your entertainment during the game. I saw someone asking if we're streaming the game. Unfortunately, no, we're not streaming the game. We'd get taken off YouTube if we did that. We'll just be providing the live reaction and a bit of banter with the lads as well. And of course, we'll be following that up with the rating the players, scoring the players later on. Sam Mulliner will be joining us later on as well. We all love Sam. And of course, the live fan reaction as well. We'll be having a few of you guys on to hopefully discuss what's going to be a 10-0 win to the mighty Magpies. But in reality, we'll probably be a lot closer than that. So that's what we've got coming up here on the watch along. And then Lee and the gang at the stadium will be bringing you some live reaction from the stadium, as well as the last word later on. So stay tuned for that. Got a couple of questions on Willock already. Yeah, if you didn't know already, obviously we've signed Joe Willock. Fantastic signing. Check out the video on that if you haven't already. Signed for about roughly £25 million, according to reports. Fantastic signing. I'm sure we can all agree on that. But he is not involved today. He wasn't registered in time for today's game. So he's not in the starting 11. He will be unveiled to the crowd approximately 10 minutes before kickoff, apparently, according to Newcastle's Twitter. So hello to Sam. He's tuned in. He'll be joining us later. Bet your boots I will. Yes, you will, Sam. Fantastic. Steve, also our member. You'll know Steve. You'll all know Steve. Giving us a little wave from the background there. He's absolutely football mad. You'll see on our socials yesterday. I think he had every 3 o'clock kickoff on the stream at some point. So I'm sure he'll come on later and tell us all about who we should watch out for in the Premier League. But yeah, so really glad you can join me, guys. Hopefully Brandon and Carl will show up soon, so I'm not just waffling at yous. So yeah, we'll be talking about the lineups. We've got about 20 minutes to kick off. Obviously, we haven't signed anyone apart from Joe Willock, and we know he's not involved today. So it's a very similar lineup to what we saw at the end of last season, and West Ham without Jesse Lingard. We'll be talking about that. Simon asking how I'm doing. I'm doing great, mate. I've finally out of isolation. Unfortunately, I've had a bit of COVID, been a bit ill, but yesterday was my last day of isolation. So I'm spending my freedom day locked inside watching Newcastle United as I'd love to do, COVID or no COVID. So really excited to be back, really excited to just watch football again. I know the Euros. We'll not talk about the Euros. I think the Euros are a past memory for all of us. We're just not going to talk about them. I can see a couple of score predictions coming in the comments as well. Don't forget to get involved in the comments down below. Let us know if we're talking waffle. Let us know what your score predictions are going to be today. We've got Paul saying it's going to be 2-1 at the tune. I'd love it if it was the right score, Paul. We'll come back at the end of the game, see if that's correct. Cheers, Simon. Thanks very much for that. Well wishes. Very glad to have you keeping me company today. Not seen the lineups yet. Well, we've got some news for you. I'm trying to save them so I can discuss them with the lads when they got on. I don't want to do any spoilers, but I can reveal that Jamal Lascelles, usually the captain, is not involved in the starting lineup. He's on the bench, not quite fit enough to start. Steve Bruce saying that the only injuries, this was yesterday in the press conference or the day before, sorry, that the only injuries are to the goalkeepers and to Paul Dummett. They're the only people that will completely miss out. Everyone else was fit enough to be involved in the matchday squad. Jamal Lascelles not fit enough to start, only fit enough to make the bench. It looks like Emil Kraft's come in to take his place, which is an interesting decision. But that means the captaincy on the pitch would go to someone else. And usually we see John Joe Shelby as the captain. And we came back on to discuss all this. Yeah, we see John Joe Shelby as the captain, usually vice captain, I should say, taking over when Jamal Lascelles isn't involved. Shelby is playing, but he isn't the captain today. Federico Fernandez named as the match day captain for today's game. Hiya, Carl. How are you doing, mate?
Not too bad, mate. How are you?
Yes, I'm all right. Still long-term COVID, no taste or smell. But apart from that, I'm chipper and I'm ready for today's game. Are you feeling optimistic about today's game?
Yeah, I am. Just because we got off to a good start last season. So I feel like we could potentially do the double in that sense. And then just see where we go from there. But yeah, I am feeling relatively positive. I think it's hard not to, with it all coming back and having the fans in the stadium. Obviously, like yourself, mate, gutted I can't be there. Thankfully, mine's not for COVID. So hope you are feeling better, pal.
Yeah,
but yeah, mate, just gutted we're not there. That's all.
I know what I'd give to be there. But you mentioned the last season when we played West Ham, took 6 points off them over the course of the season. But of course, opening day last year we faced them as well, and it was a Jeff Hendrick masterclass. Are you hoping to see something similar from someone else today?
Definitely from someone else, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully he gets nowhere near the pitch.
I know. I know we're not going to talk about it immediately, but I'm slightly surprised about certain people starting. But yeah, I'd like to think that maybe Maximin could get off to a flyer. Callum Wilson as well, because Callum Wilson hasn't played in front of a 52,000 packed out St James's Park. So I'd really love for that to. Well, I know it's going to spur him on, but it's just going to be even better if he can get a goal. Sorry, mate, I'm just looking at the WhatsApp. I can see my seat from here, and it's been occupied by a Middlesbrough fan, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Who's he cheering for?
It's my missus. My brother's missus is a Borough fan, so he's there and he's took his missus. So yeah,
very nice. Yeah, well, it must be heartbreaking for you watching that at home.
It is. You can just see it. I was actually sat in my seat.
We're talking briefly about Callum Wilson there. I'm hoping that he bags at least 5 because he's my fantasy captain, and my vice captain's Bruno Fernandes. So if Wilson doesn't do well, then I'm going to regret that because Bruno got a hat trick. So hopefully Wilson can thrive. We've had in the WhatsApp group chat a bit of Almiron slander this morning, saying that if he's anywhere near the team, I won't mention who said it. If Almiron's anywhere near the team, then this game's a write-off and we're not going to win. What are you expecting from Almiron? He had a bit of a busy summer with Paraguay, but he's come back. He's had training. He's clearly fit enough to start. You expecting good things from him today?
Yeah, well, I think the energy that he brings, regardless of what I know his passing can be misplaced at times, or he can look to maybe stay on the ball too much and not have that one step ahead where he can be looking to bring in Maximin or Wilson into the game. But I just feel like we need his energy at times, right? And we've seen more of that from him than we have from Ryan Fraser. And don't get me wrong, I know Ryan Fraser had a relatively good pre-season. He did okay for Scotland, but I'm not one that's jumping at the and banging the drum that he should be starting personally. I think Miggy's got a lot of energy, and I know Liam like doesn't want him anywhere near the team. But yeah, I'm not one of those people. If he has a great game, fantastic. If he doesn't, then he doesn't, and then drop him. Look to bring someone in. But yeah, I think he's got a lot about him.
I do like him. He's a likable little lad, and hopefully he can get on the score sheet or at least get an assist today. So we're talking about the lineups. It's about 15 minutes to kick off, so I think it's about time that we had a look at the lineups. We'll look at West Ham's first. I can share my screen if you like, or I don't know if you've got them ready.
Let me have a look, mate.
But we've got West Ham. I can just share them. It's all right. Don't worry. That's how first time I've done this. Share screen. This is where I've got to go through all my settings now.
It's all right. Just while Matt's doing that, because I saw a question from someone. I am a Newcastle fan because my dad was born that way and I didn't have a choice, which I'm glad of, by the way. I don't say that with any disregard. So, yeah, season ticket holder, mate. Love it. I just love Newcastle. I was lucky enough to watch the entertainers growing up, and then obviously the Bobby Robson era. So that's me. My dad pushed it on me, and I was all for it. So yeah.
Is that sharing? Oh, it's sharing. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's right down the middle. So this is West Ham's lineup. I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit. I can't. Right. Yeah, this is West Ham's lineup today, Carl. So I mentioned Jesse Lingard a little bit earlier on. He's not returned there on loan. I thought he might have returned because he had such incredible form with them last season. Obviously, the danger man in the picture there, Thomas Souček as well. Just having a quick look at that team. Where do you think the goals are going to come from in that team without Lingard?
I think, Antonio's a strong guy and he's actually relatively skillful on the ball as well. So obviously you just mentioned Souček there. Ben Rama's very good on the ball as well. So I think, whilst they are missing that kind of flair that Lingard basically silenced the critics with, because everyone said that he'd lost that part of his game and come to West Ham and lit it up. I think the likes of Souček, I think Antonio's got it about him to create goals himself. He's a big lad, strong, quick, very good on the ball. So we do have to be wary of him. And I was never a massive Declan Rice fan until I saw seen the way he played in the Euros, and I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. It was the first time I watched him. I was like, okay, I understand the hype a little bit. Whereas watching him before, I was like, didn't really see that about him. So if he can continue in that sort of vein of form, then we have got to, watch out for him as well.
Yeah, let's not start the Longstaff versus Rice debates again.
No, let's not do that.
I think that one's long decided. Said Ben Rama, then, number 22. I've seen a lot of people putting him in their fantasy teams this year. It could be a bit of a differential in the Premier League because he's kind of filling that role that Lingard's vacated now. He didn't get too many minutes last year to show what he was about. Obviously, part of that BMW formation that got Brentford so successful in the Championship, left them for West Ham. According to Sky Sports' lineup earlier, it says he's going to fill in that number 10 role rather than on the wing. Is he one to look out for, maybe making late runs into the box? He's quite a tricky player. Obviously, our defenders aren't the quickest at the back. Do you think he's a bit of a danger man for West Ham as well?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. We, like you've just said, and we're weak at fullback as well. So we've absolutely got to be looking to nullify what he can bring down the flanks. Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there any weaknesses in that defence that you can spot straight off the bat? Looks like a back four there. Ogbonna and Dawson, the centre backs. Obviously, Cresswell and Kufal both had good seasons last year. Any weaknesses that you can pick out there, or is it a pretty solid lineup?
I think it's quite a solid lineup, to be fair. I do think I like Ogbonna, I do, but I also think that he's quite prone to a mistake. He's one of those centre halves where he does like to bring the ball out, but he's also prone to maybe giving it away in dangerous positions. So I think if we press them high enough, there is a potential that we could force a mistake.
That's the worst thing. We don't want to sit back in front of a home crowd and just sit back on defence for the whole game. But we'll move on to Newcastle's starting 11. One name taking the headlines, particularly Freddie Woodman getting his first Premier League debut for him. How chuffed are you that he's finally getting a chance in the first team?
Yeah, massively, mate. It's fair play to him for sticking with it. He's almost like a younger version of Steve Harper. He could have gone if he wanted to. We know he'd easily go and get a game in the Championship. So yeah, fair play to him. A lot of commitment from him to actually stay at Newcastle and want to try and prove himself. Obviously, it's come under different circumstances in terms of. I'm not saying he doesn't warrant it. He does, but this is he's given this opportunity. First game of the season, prime time, Sunday afternoon against West Ham. In front of 52,000. Yeah, if he has a fantastic game, then sky's the limit in terms of where we are. Because I think we all know that if Dubravka stays, then Darlow's probably going to go, and vice versa. at some point. So it's a real opportunity for him to make a real good go of himself today.
Another player that's kind of proven himself over the course of last season is Jacob Murphy, starting at what we presume is going to be the right wing-back position today. We haven't got the strongest fullbacks, like you've mentioned. Would he have been your first choice pick for that wing-back position today?
Yes, yeah, he would have, to be fair. He's well, I don't really know who else would play. Do you know? I say that I've got Manquillo on my bench in my fantasy team. I was half expecting him to start because just I don't know. I thought maybe
just a feeling.
it's just a feeling. Some distant universe that we might just play a flat back four at the back and go on the attack. But no, in terms of the ability to get forward, to offer us an outlet going forward and whip the ball in, as well as being able to defend relatively well. He's the best option at that position for me at the club at the moment. And like you said, mate, he's gone and grabbed that ball by the horns. He got given that opportunity last year, where he probably hadn't had enough opportunities or not taken them previously, and he did that last season. So it's his position to lose. So fair play to him.
I definitely agree with that. I can see Brandon lurking in the background, so we'll get his thoughts on this very shortly. It looks like what will be a front three of Saint-Maximin, Almiron and Callum Wilson. Obviously, Callum Wilson being the main striker there. But do you think that they'll play as like a fluid front three or kind of rigid wingers in this kind of formation? We know Saint-Maximin does enjoy playing almost the number 10 floating behind the striker. Do you think it'll be more rigid formation given the wing backs or a bit more fluid?
It really does depend. I know it's quite a silly thing to say, but I think it depends who's kind of put this formation in place. Because if it was me personally, I'd just like Miggy. I think both Miggy and Maximin are very fluid in terms of interchanging positions. You know, it's very rare that Miggy will regimentally play on the left or the right. You see both of them drifting inside a lot as well. So I'd like to think it was fluid, to be honest. I think we'd be really, really dangerous going forward if it is fluid. If they're regimented, it's difficult because Maximin isn't as good at tracking back, for example. So if he's just regimented to sticking on one particular wing, I think it will hinder the way he'll want to play. I think they should. I'd love to see all three of them interchanging. To be fair, there's enough pace between the three of them to be able to do that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think I'd like to see a lot of Saint-Maximin getting on the ball and running at defenders, because I'm not sure that they're going to be able to cope with that. If we kind of sit back and don't take the game to West Ham, I think that's when I'm going to start to worry.
Yeah.
So quick run through the bench. Fabian Schär, obviously Keith Gillespie was the backup goalkeeper. Jamal Lascelles, Joe Linton, Jamal Lewis, Jeff Hendrick, Ryan Fraser, Gale and Longstaff. Gale bagged a couple of goals against Norwich in what was our final pre-season game there. If we're struggling for goals, do you think that he'll be the first choice off the bench, or do you think Ryan Fraser or Joe Linton will come on to try and make an impact?
I wish he'd finished like that in the Premier League every season. It must be some sort of mental block, because those sorts of finishes for him in the Championship are literally second nature. And again, you know, playing against a newly promoted Championship club, he's gone and instinctively finished off the back of two excellent balls, and there were brilliant finishes from him, and he's had opportunities in the past, more than enough opportunities to do that in the Premiership. Why he can't do it is beyond me. It really is. So like, he's definitely like got the goal scoring nous to be able to be a backup striker for us. I think he's got more goals in him than Joe Linton has, but again, you know, I know a lot of people haven't entirely wrote Joe Linton off, not entirely. I probably will in the next couple of weeks. That's me just being a nice person, I think. No, overly nice.
I really do want to see him succeed. I don't know what it is. Obviously, we allegedly paid a lot of money for him. There's debates whether we actually did or didn't, but there's a lot of pressure on the lad because of it. And he's still a young lad at the end of the day, and he's not a number 9. We know that. And I want to root for him. So hopefully he can come good for the season. Let's bring Brandon in to get his thoughts on this then, because I'm sure he's got some thoughts. Hey, Brandon, how are you doing?
How are you doing, mate? Not bad. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. What do you make of this starting 11 then? Are you happy? Would you rather have seen some players in there apart from...
Quite content, I would say. Just don't see why Emma Kraft will play though, but yeah, it's the kind of thing.
Would you have gone for a back 4 and take him out, or would you have someone else instead of him in a back 5?
Well, I would probably do Jamal Lascelles or even Fabian Schär, but yeah, let's hope he has a miracle game today.
Yeah,
not sure about it, but
Is he the weak link in this team then? Do you not trust him in that centre-back position?
Well, he did the last couple of games last season. He did quite okay. As I now see the scenes of Joe Willock walking on the pitch, being welcomed.
Yeah, I could just see that on my screen. I love the difference. I don't know if you watched the Manchester United game yesterday. Rafael Varane, £40 million from Real Madrid, comes out suit and tie, dressed to the nines, bright sun shining, brings his shirt out, takes stuff on the pitch. Pouring rain in Newcastle, absolutely bucketing down. Joe Willock comes on with a fucking cagoule, just dressed in all grey. If that's not miserable, I don't know what is. But yeah, good to see him at the club again.
For sure.
I'm sure we'll see a lot of him this season. Hopefully he can stay fit and replicate the form that he had at the end of last season.
Because he's not eligible to play, right?
Yes, he's not eligible for today's game. Unfortunately, he wasn't registered in time. But
he will be for next game. Right?
Presumably he'll be fit and ready for the next game. Yeah, so we'll wait and see what Steve Bruce says in the press conferences. But yes, right, I'll stop sharing my screen now. Nice one. So yeah, but just under 5 minutes till kickoff. First of all, lads, I'm going to get a prediction off you for today's game. So we've seen the lineups. It's St James's Park, packed crowd for the first time in what feels like forever. What predictions are we going for? Brandon, we'll start with you.
I go for the same result we had when we first played them the first game of the last season, 2-0. And then just, I don't know, we haven't lost since then, since 5 matches ago.
Who's your goal scorers in that?
I go for Wilson. I don't know. Wilson and Hayden, I guess.
Hayden, okay, brave shout. Carl, score prediction off you, mate.
Well, I'm going to go something crazy. I'm going to go 4-3 Newcastle.
Wow. Okay. I'll take it.
Wilson brace, one from Maxi and a bullet header from Kieran Clark.
Love that. I'm going to go for a simple 1-0. Callum Wilson in the 27th minute from about 13 yards out. Great strike past the keeper, and we just ride it out like we would. But we'll have another quick prediction or two predictions from each of you. I'd like an optimistic prediction of where we'll finish. Not daft, but an optimistic prediction of where we'll finish at the end of the season, and a pessimistic prediction. Carl, we'll come to you first.
Based on how it is now, I'd be optimistic. I'd like to think we could go and get 10th. If it, that's me being optimistic.
12th last season, and then you got a whole season of Joe Willock, so it's not unrealistic at all. Brandon, optimistic one.
I would have said 12 like last season probably. Because but you made a good point actually. If Willock can stay fit and can score goals next together with Wilson, we might can push to the 10th position, but I'm afraid it's gonna be 15, 14.
And then so is that your negative prediction? 14th.
Yeah.
Negative. Yeah. Carl, what was your
15th
negative prediction? Did you say?
Pessimistic one would be 18th, mate.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There's obviously a lot of worry around that relegation because obviously we don't want to go down. And the last few seasons, it's been touch and go. I'm gonna go bang in the middle with my optimistic. I'm going to say 11th. I don't think we'll quite crack top half. I think there's a lot of good sides this year. People have invested wisely. I did a video on NFTV Extra about the transfer business. Some of the teams have done. Crystal Palace, one of the ones that would usually be around the kind of mid-table area, obviously got battered by Chelsea yesterday, but they've made some very good signings this season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them pushing higher. But for us, negative prediction, I'd probably go 18th as well. I can't see us finishing rock bottom. I do think there's a couple of worse teams, but teams like Watford and Brighton winning on the opening day of the season. Watford against Villa as well, who have obviously invested heavily after the departure of Jack Grealish. So good starts for them, which will have us a little bit worried if we can't keep up with those sort of results. We need results in games like this. We need results against teams that are going to finish in and around the same areas of the table. Don't forget to get involved in the comments with your predictions as well. Let us know before the match kicks off what you think it's going to end. But the match is kicking off in just about a minute's time. What do you make of the new kit, lads? We're in the black and white, obviously at home for the first game of the season. I can't get over the 4. I really can't.
That's it, mate. I love the fact that they've reintroduced a granddad collar. I think brilliant, but I haven't bought it because I can't get over that 4. Like the away kit, I absolutely love it, but yeah, it just looks weird. I can't not see it anymore.
I know.
It's true though, but I have to say when you know, or when you have that story in your head that this is the 4th year of Sunderland not being playing Premier League, then it's kind of funny again. But especially when you see it now, like the lineup, you see all 4s. Yeah, it's pretty out there when you see it. First, I had problems seeing it. I didn't see it. I was like, which 4 you're talking about? But
yeah, it's literally because it's a nice kit. It's just the sponsor with the writing that just makes it into a 4. It's just whoa.
But the away kit is cracking though.
Yeah,
I like it. Definitely. So check. Let's see.
I wish, Jay. I wish. I'm not quite that deluded, unfortunately.
So God, it's miserable. I live in Leeds and it's quite nice sunshine here. But God, it's really miserable in Newcastle. Hopefully that's not foreshadowing for how the season's going to go up, how for the game.
Check the weather in the Netherlands. Let's see. Kind of sunny, cloudy. I don't know.
Is that 5-1 to Newcastle?
I think it is. I hope so. It's a Man United fan, so it's got a Man United badge. So.
I literally spent my afternoon trolling Man United fans yesterday, so I don't know why.
It was a great game. I don't know if anyone at home, anyone watched it. It was fantastic.
I just put a comment out about the Glazers and everyone bit at it. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Was that on Twitter, Carl?
Yeah, on Twitter, mate. My missus is about a week and a half out from due date for giving birth, mate, so I can't risk it, unfortunately.
Okay. Is it also a possibility it can happen right now?
Yeah.
During the watch along? Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you all things at once?
I've been really, really excited all the way through, and then over the last week, like out of nowhere, it's just fear has just hit me. I'm just like, and I don't know why.
It'll all be fine. It'll all be
becomes very real, probably all of a sudden, I guess.
All right, corner for West Ham already, early doors. I like that West Ham kit, I have to say. I like the big, thick stripe on the shoulder.
Haven't seen you guys for a while, though. Jesus.
I know. Feels like it's been forever.
Hi.
It has been. God. No, we'll be doing a lot more of this, hopefully. Hopefully, we'll all be happy. I think every watch along, bar one that I've been on, we've won. I've jinxed it now, but the only one we didn't win was that Man City game, which was great header. Great header. West Ham corner comes in. I think it was Souček pounced after a rebound, headed it towards goal, but Almiron on the post headed it round for another corner. That's why you keep your men on your posts. Good position. Yeah, it was Souček, danger man in the box yet again. Probably reached double figures this season, the bloody giant.
Yeah.
What minute you're on, mate?
I'm on just going into the second minute.
Oh, damn.
Are you behind, are you?
I'm 48 seconds, mate.
Oh, wow. I was going to say I'll try and subdue my reactions, but...
no, just go for it, mate.
Not sure I can.
No, just go for it. If you want our spontaneous reactions. I will just cheer after you, or with you, when I don't even see anything.
That's a good point from Ben there. West Ham good at set pieces, probably why we played Fernandes and Clark. Yeah, good aerial presence is from Fernandes and Clark, but if that's the case, then I know Jamal Lascelles might not 100% be fit, but surely he's probably our best defence at set pieces, isn't he? Big lad. So surprised to see him not starting, like you say, with the aerial threat from West Ham. Ooh. I saw video saint-maximin this week saying, obviously with the signing of Joe Willock, and he was talking about kind of players that we need at the club, obviously saying Joe Willock's one of them. He called Shelvey Ronaldo, like Ronaldo. But I was like, is he that good? Is that what all the players think of him?
That's crazy.
Glad to see that he's well loved in that camp.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be misery for David Moyes on Tyneside yet again.
I bloody hope so.
What minute you're on now, actually?
3:30, man.
Okay, that's I switched to my dream box. That one is ahead, so that's good. So I'm at 240 now, so
Interesting little passage of play there. We got into West Ham's half and Saint-Maximin laid it off to the right wing and Kraft was in West Ham's final third there. So I don't know if he's playing as a right back and Murphy's playing as a winger or if they're both kind of getting down the line and the other one's filling in when the other one's come forward. So we'll see how that plays out. Jonjo Shelvey's nicked it in the corner, West Ham's corner. Maxi's on the ball. He's doing his trademark step overs, sending... I think that's Declan Rice for a sausage, but Rice has kept him under wraps for now. Ball in the box. Wilson! Get in!
I've missed it.
Get in! Saint-Maximin leaving Declan Rice on toast. Callum Wilson, trademark, 6-yard box, header, bottom corner. Beautiful start, 4 minutes in. Come on!
You're not taking a piss, do you?
I'm not taking a piss. Saint-Maximin is the best footballer on the fucking planet. Let's go. What? He's just had Declan Rice on toast. I thought Rice had stayed with him fairly well, but one little drop of the shoulder and he was away. Great work from Jonjo Shelvey to pressure, win that ball up in the final third. Maximin stands the defender up, backwards, forwards, upwards, downwards, over the Irish Sea. Oh, beautiful. One step in the box. Wilson, 2 defenders, left in dust. Easy goal. Come on! That is exactly the start we needed. The crowd goes absolutely mental.
Somehow, we always seem to pick up a result versus West Ham.
Yeah, well, don't jinx it. The game's not over yet.
Aye, fair enough.
Great ball in. Great ball in.
Well, at least I was right with Wilson scoring.
Yeah.
Fourth minute of the season, he already nicked one. Great start.
Callum Wilson 1-0, so I'm on track as well. Now your 4-3's a long way out.
would you take a second goal, Matt, or would you rather just be right with the correct score?
I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but only if we were 3 or 4-0 up.
Aye. I'll take a 2-0.
Yeah.
Any day.
Yeah, it does look like a back five.
I think,
but the wing backs are getting very high up. Matt Ritchie's on the edge of the box there when Maximin's on the ball. Maximin dispossessed though.
He's like driving Declan Rice crazy, man. Okay, I'm just watching the goal back now.
Yeah. Oh, a long ball from Kraft. Wilson. Oh, piss off! They've changed the rules this year, so the linesman raises his flag early if they don't think there's a goal scoring opportunity. Whereas last year they'd leave it and let VAR check it. Wilson was in behind there, and the linesman puts his flag up. But I think
are you guys a fan of that though?
I'm a fan of the changes they've made. The Premier League have come out and said that Bruno Fernandes's 3rd goal yesterday would have been disallowed last year. So we are going to see a lot more goals in the Premier League this year compared to last year, just because they're not going to be as strict with it. So I like that change. But I did like the fact that the linesman used to put the flag up late because it led to more chances. It led to more goals. So I'm not a big fan of that. What about you? Do you like the changes?
Is that to Carl or to me?
Both of you. Well, we've got you, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm pretty content with it, actually. It's, like you said, creates me more chances and it makes the game a bit more fair as well, in my opinion. I mean, for the handball, they changed it as well, right? I think that's good as well.
Yeah. The penalties are going to be less strict.
I mean, when the way they use VAR during the Euros, that was actually pretty good, and that's how it should go to.
Oh, Antonio's just rolled Shelvey with great ease, but luckily he's rubbish, so he scuffs his shot. Almiron. Oh, that's a good tackle. That's a good tackle. Almiron seems to have Kufal on toast for pace, so we'll see if he can abuse that, knock it past him, use his incredible speed to abuse that left-hand side of ours or the right-hand side of theirs.
Do you think that'll be the case? Southgate will never select a team player for England, even if we still had Shearer?
I think Southgate is probably the most likely England manager to select a Newcastle player of all the managers in the last 10 years, really, because you think of the players that he's picked. He took Ben White, who was at Brighton. He took Calvin Phillips when he was playing in the Championship with Leeds. Like, he doesn't just stick to the ones that he trusts completely. He brought Saka, who'd had a good season for Arsenal. He did pick players on form. And, if Callum Wilson had stayed fit last season and got a few more goals, I'm sure he would have gone ahead of Calvert-Lewin. But, we don't have the caliber of players that are good enough to play for England, unfortunately. if Saint-Maximin was English, you can see him getting in the squad, but that's about it, really. I mean, you can argue, there's an argument for Isaac Hayden, but when you look at the performance that Rice and Phillips had at the Euros, so yeah.
No dodgy streams for me anymore, by the way. Just the Dreambox is like a lifesaver, man.
Yeah.
60 quid a year. 60 quid a year. And you just got all the channels.
Yeah. Hayden breaking forward, furthest man forward, gets into the box, blocked off by the defender, shouts from the crowd for a penalty, but nothing doing for the referee. It was a bit of a soft one, would have been harsh if it was given there. Good ball in from Callum Wilson.
Who's the ref actually today? Dean?
That's a good question. No, I'll look it up. It's not Dean. It's the guy with the grey hair that's going bald. I forget his name. Awful pass from Suchek.
Like every average English guy.
Yeah. Maxi on the break here. Stands up Koufal's past him, offloads it. Almiron. Good ball out. Who's this getting involved? Isaac Hayden's pushing very far forward. Takes on the shot. Oh, it hits Callum Wilson and goes out for no, it hasn't gone out. It was going out for a throw-in. It's interesting that Wilson, he's in the box, dancing. He's going nowhere. That's a corner. That's a good decision from the linesman there. Good play from Wilson. Yeah, interesting that Isaac Hayden is the player getting forward and not John Joe Shelby of the midfield pairing. Mm-hmm. The referee is Martin Atkinson for you. Ooh, come on, lads. Let's make it 2. Richie on the corner. I'm glad to see Matt Ritchie getting a start. I know he's not the best. I'd like to see Jetro Willems coming back, but Matt Ritchie's not the worst.
Not sure if that will happen though. He's still a free agent, right?
Yeah, he was at the Ajax game at the weekend, so we'll see if he can head back to his home country.
Ajax. Do you guys hear something in the background of mine? Or?
A little bit, but it's not too bad. It's a great
my
ball.
roommate is cooking, but if I can, I can mute my mic. It's annoying.
All right. It's fine for me. Oh, here we go. Counter from our corner. Antonio's on the ball. Offloads it. Bowen. Good defending from Kraft, actually, to stand Bowen up there. Allows time for the defence to track back, but still in a dangerous position. Cresswell whips the ball in. Back post. Too deep for Antonio. Haven't seen a lot of Woodman yet. Go on, sorry.
I'm delighted for Woodman, actually. He gets a chance. It's, of course, terrible that Dubravka and both Darlow are out, but it's good for him. Let's see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah.
You guys have high expectations of Freddy?
Yeah. I've got no expectations, really, when it comes to him, because he had a great season in the Championship. I think he won the Golden Glove, didn't he? Almost got promoted with Swansea. Clearly a good goalkeeper. He's been part of England's youth setup for a while. He's just not had a chance. I think we give him, if he gets a few games this season, we'll see how long it takes for Dubravka and Darlow to come back. Because Darlow's obviously been suffering quite badly with COVID. I don't know if he's above Darlow in my pecking order now, just because Darlow is getting a bit older, doesn't have that many years left on his contract. And Woodman's obviously such a promising young keeper that will hopefully be Newcastle's number 1 one day.
Would you sell it? Darlow.
No. Oh, Darlow.
Yeah.
If the right price comes in, I don't see why not, because when the squad numbers were released yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, we've got 5 senior goalkeepers now, if you count Dan Langley as a backup as well. Go on. Oh, unlucky.
What will be a reasonable price? What would you accept if someone comes for $1?
5 mil, I think, because he is getting on. I think he's 29 or 30 now, which obviously for a goalkeeper is not too bad. He probably got 4 or 5 years.
4 more years, yeah.
At kind of Championship level, maybe even a lower Premier League side. But he's not first choice goalkeeper. He hasn't played all that much. Obviously, had a good half of last season. There's not a lot to boost his price up, and goalkeepers are always tend to be cheaper than the outfield players anyway. So I think 5 mil is reasonable, considering you've got Dubravka already as your number 1 choice, Woodman, who could easily step into that number 1, and then Gillespie and Dan Langley as your 3rd and 4th. So Dan Langley, of course, being another youth goalkeeper behind Woodman, obviously a lot younger. But it's always nice to see local lads getting into the team, or at least lads that have been in the youth setup. I know Woodman's not necessarily local. But yeah, it's always nice to see them getting a debut and hopefully performing well. Because if he keeps a clean sheet here, then you, regardless of how fit the others are, you've got an argument for him starting the next game until he makes a mistake, really.
Like to say the same thing that went on with Darlow Dubravka last season.
Yeah, very similar.
Don't know if I want to go down to that route again. Like the fans were pretty divided according to that situation.
Yeah, I really like Dubravka. I think he's class, but he does have a mistake in him. So there's always
Darlow does as well.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. Neither of them are reliable, or as reliable as you could be. But I think there was a point made on the Manchester United game yesterday that if a goalkeeper makes a mistake, then it costs the team a goal. If a defender, like a left back or a right back, makes a mistake, it's forgotten about 5 minutes later because someone covers for it. So the goalkeepers are always under much more pressure than everyone else on the pitch, because their mistakes cost the teams goals and points and money at the end of the day. So yeah, they're always under a lot more pressure. So we scrutinise them a lot more. So it's not really too fair to criticise Dubravka and Darlow for being making too many mistakes. We started the game quite well. What have you made of the formation so far? It looks like a back five, although Kraft has stepped out quite a bit. What do you think of the formation so far? Is it too defensive, or are you happy with the way we started?
Pretty happy with the way we started, mate, to be fair. Couldn't really expect anything. Well, I didn't really expect anything more. I'd love to, like I said, I'd love us to be out on the front foot for every minute. But it was just never going to happen under Steve Bruce. But no, I'm relatively happy, mate. Relatively happy. Looking solid. Looking lively on the counter-attack.
Yeah, that seems to be the tactic, doesn't it? Sit back and counter. Which, when you've got players like Almiron, Wilson and Saint-Maximin, why not?
Love to see defense back though, by the way. Not sure if you guys mentioned it already, but probably you did. But good to see them back though.
Yeah. That's a good question, Jay. What do Newcastle do if both Willock and Wilson get injured? We suffer, Jay. We suffer, like more than we usually would. It's
Prepare for relegation.
What do you make of the Willock signing, lads? I know we're all happy that he's here. Do you think the price was fair? Do you think that he'll continue the same kind of form? Obviously, he's not going to score every game, but do you think he'll have a similar kind of run of form that he had towards the end of last season? Do you think he's a good signing for us?
I mean, on the face of it, I want to say yes, but it's like you said, like he could have a torrid season. He could have just played out of his skin towards the end of last season, and that might not happen again. We see that happen with players time and time again. So only time can tell whether the 25 million is worth it. But I think even in this day and age, 25 million for a central midfielder who scored 7 goals in 14 games, or 8 goals in 14 games, at the age of 21. And I can't grumble at that price tag.
West Ham have equalised, but it's been disallowed for offside. I think it was offside, but we'll see, because there was a cross from Cresswell, then someone shot, and then someone tapped it in at the back post. But I think the person that was in at the back post was offside after the second touch. So we'll see. Antonio gets the ball in the box.
Like what you were saying, Carl, by the way, you see, was it yesterday or 2 days ago when Arsenal played Brentford, how much they missed a player like Willock?
Absolutely.
It's going to be onside. It's going to be onside.
Really?
Well, yeah, he's definitely onside from the first ball, and I think he's behind the ball from the second ball. So yeah, that's 1-1. We'll wait for VAR to confirm it, but I'd say that's onside. Yeah, so 1-1 it looks like, but we'll wait for VAR to confirm. But given the new lenient rules on the offsides, that's definitely going to be onside, I think. We'll wait. Yeah, Moyes is clapping, so it's given by the looks of it. Yeah, 1-1.
Fuck.
The goal stands.
Yeah, it was a good ball from Cresswell. No one was going out to meet him. We all got sucked into the ball. we just let them have the ball around our box for too long. No one put any pressure on it. And then whips a ball in. I think it was Souček that gets the first touch, and then Bowen just taps into a free goal at the back post. No one with him, unfortunately. But yeah, poor defending. You ask for that when you sit so deep. Unfortunately, there's no one going out to meet the ball. When you sit so deep, you've got to put pressure on the ball.
Do you think Joe Linton will ever step and play even half decent, or should we just sell him? I think there's times where he has played, relatively decent. I think we expect goals from him. I just, like Matt mentioned in the pre-match build-up, he's not a goal scorer. He's not a goal scorer. Apparently, he looks like he's bulked up. He's been in the gym a lot to bulk up because I wouldn't say he was weak. I thought he was relatively a strong lad anyway. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of effect that has. And he's deceptively quick as well. There were times where I saw him leave people for dead. I'm like, where's he got that pace from? But yeah, I think this is it, isn't it? If he doesn't do anything this season, you've got to get rid of him.
Do you think he'll get much of a chance to prove himself this season?
I hope he does. Because at the end of the day, like you said, mate, the only other cover we've got at striker at the moment is Dwight Gale. So there's no reason that he shouldn't do. And again, if Maximin or Almiron, anything happens to those two, you've got Fraser and Joe Linton, really, haven't you?
I've just watched the goal back again. Bloody hell. Emil Kraft. He just turns his body away from the ball. If he tries to block the cross, he blocks it. Jacob Murphy obviously left his man, so he's at fault as well. But he recovers and tries to, commits his whole body, slides in to try and block the cross, doesn't quite make it. Kraft turns his body the other way, doesn't even dangle a leg at it. If he sticks a leg out, even half committed, he gets a flick on the ball, and that's not a goal. We were talking about sitting deep before. I don't want to see us sit deep every game. This is the kind of team, West Ham, they're not the best team in the world. Go and take the game to them. We talked in the pre-match build-up that we don't want to see a team that sits behind the ball for 90 minutes. Got an early goal, which was good. Conceded, which we obviously don't want. But you can't just sit back for 90 minutes with, I'm counting how many men behind the ball, 5, 6, 7, 8 men behind the ball. And Wilson and Maximin running onto loose, lumped up passes. Is that a penalty? Yeah. No. Ref says no West Ham penalty. And Antonio, late challenge. No penalty. Given on Ben on the flop to the floor. Thinks he was obstructed. Obviously VAR will check, but it's a Newcastle goal kick as of now.
The top that Steve Bruce is wearing and all the training stuff and everything from the training, it looks so much like a Liverpool sort of outfit.
Yeah. I think obviously we've got new kit providers, Castore or however you say it this season. Put good away kit, but then people were complaining, rightly so, that this is the same kit manufacturer as Rangers and Wolves now, I think. Yeah. And on the Rangers kits, the badge is embroidered. But on ours, it's just a cheap plastic patch. Same price. Oh, Christ. Oh, what a save. Freddie Woodman, great one-on-one save. Jared Bowen dancing through the defence. Challenges flying in left, right and centre, but none of them bloody good. Woodman makes himself big, doesn't commit too early. Great save from the young lad. That'll give him the world of confidence after just conceding. Great tackle. Saint-Maximin tracking back, tackles on his own goal line or touch line. Now he's launching the counter himself. Can he offload the ball? He needs to offload the ball. Great. Finds Miggy on the right wing. Newcastle on the attack. Declan Rice stops it. But Newcastle still have the ball. Great save from Woodman there. John Joe long ball. Wilson brings it down. Back heel. Oh, it was clever. There was no support. That's the kind of place where Joe Willock's steaming in to support the striker. That's what we're missing. Almiron was there, but he was just too late. Great ball from Shelby to pick out Wilson. Oh, it's a great ball. It's a great run. Great control. It's just good defending to stand Wilson up. He gets the shot away, but it's right at the goalkeeper. Woo!
Good save, Woodman, man.
Yeah. Those are the kind of chances that we're going to be feeding off all season, I fear. Unfortunately, just a lucky break or a long ball. Oh, this is painful. Declan Rice picks up the ball on the right-hand side of the halfway line, just right on the touch line, Newcastle have their back five on the edge of their own box, about 50 yards away from the ball. No one puts pressure on him, and the left wing back, West Ham's left wing back and left winger, both have their hands in the air, screaming for the ball, each of them in about 20 yards of space, and he just pins a pass to pick them out. Jared Bowen's looking dangerous.
Quite a smart move by Wilson, though.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot about the 1 hour, Matt. That I'm
Sorry?
1 hour ahead.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I was like, oh no, he's going to be an hour late. He's going to miss kickoff. And then, forget you're an hour ahead. Go on. Yeah, the player's doing well to get Woodman involved in the game when the ball's in possession at the back, giving it to him, getting the ball at his feet, getting involved, keeping him in touch.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Nothing. Really.
Do
you just see the Saint-Maximin foul that wasn't a foul?
Yeah.
Richie whips it in, only Wilson in the box, cleared easily. What do you make of the investment this summer? Obviously, Willock, 25 million, that's good spending, but we've let some senior players go, so there's a lot of money on the wage bill. No one else coming in as a senior signing anyway. Do you think that's good enough for Willock, considering that it's pretty much exactly the same squad that we had at the end of last season because he was on loan, apart from the players that we've let go?
It's not good enough, but
sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm a little bit up behind, mate. It's fine. It's not good enough, but it's a start. It's a start, and I wasn't expecting us to lump 25 million on him. I really wasn't.
No.
If you believe the rumours, which maybe I do personally, a little bit too much. You think that the kitty was only 10 to 15 million pound. So the fact that we've gone out and spent 25 million and secured him is fantastic, but like we both spoke about previously, it's exactly the same squad. There's no improvement, and without preparing and improving your squad, you can't expect better results.
Oh, Kieran Clark just turned into prime Ronaldo, but can't finish his dinner.
I would say we definitely need a midfielder still and a right back.
Yeah,
we should have looked for that. Maybe even from the championship, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was even a left back as well. Richie's not going to play every game, and Jamal Lewis, we know, isn't the most reliable backup. He wants to prove himself this season, though, so hopefully he can do some business.
Is he even in the squad today, Jamal Lewis?
Yeah, he's on the bench, yeah. I think him and Richie will alternate at left wing back if we are sticking with the back five all season. We are in this game. We are creating chances. It's just we need to get more clear-cut ones. Oh, no. Oh, it was a great pass.
I know we're only 26 minutes in, and I'm not just saying this because I'm from Birmingham, but if Villa play anyway like they did yesterday and we start like this against them, we will beat them. Because I don't know if any of you saw them. They were terrible yesterday. Genuinely were bad yesterday.
But
defensively, they were terrible. Going forward, they're okay. And I know they've got Leon Bailey to start rather than coming on. They've got Watkins to come back. And Buendia looked tidy, but Buendia looks very weak on the ball.
Yeah.
Leon Bailey looks really good. Really good, to be fair.
Some player, isn't he? Yes.
But defensively, they look very shaky.
Well, that's the thing with teams like that do look shaky. You've got to take the game to them. You can't expect to nick a goal. Like West Ham are a fairly solid team, like we talked about in the build-up. There's no weak links in that defence, and they've got a solid midfield. So you got to take your chances. But a team like Villa, who've looked shaky, and they'll be knocked in confidence from losing that game against a newly promoted side. Arguably, no disrespect to them, the weakest,
the worst,
side.
Yeah.
So they'll take in a massive confidence hit.
Definitely.
We've got to take the game.
Sar looked good for Watford going forward, and that Dennis was good as well. But
Yeah.
you know, Villa just had zero bite in the midfield, and Jack Grealish isn't necessarily a bitey player at
No.
all. Like, he's excellent going forward. He's not one that's gonna, go and smash someone and put tough tackles in like Isaac Hayden does at times. He's not that type of player, but they were missing that. And they looked like the team that they were when Jack Grealish wasn't playing towards the back end of last season. And like I said, I know it's the first game of the season. They got loads of players to come in.
Oh.
But if they play remotely close like they did yesterday, they will get beat next week. If Bruce decides that he's got some balls and he wants to have a go at them, if he sits back, then we'll get hammered.
That's the problem, and that's probably what's going to happen.
Oh, for fuck's... West Ham corner, we're trying to break from the back, and Wilson's in a ton of space. And I don't know who it was. It was one of the back three. Just tries to pick him out and just kicks the ball out for a throw-in. Like, can't even hit his man within 10 yards of space. Match stats popping up right now for me. 6 shots each, 2 on target for us, 3 for West Ham. They've had 14 chances in our box. We've had 8, I think it was, or 6.
When does that ever happen for Newcastle United? When?
Yeah. We'll still lose.
It is great to be back with everyone here, by the way. Like I said, I do wish we were at the game, but it's lovely to have you all in. Lovely little consolidation prize.
It's lovely to have you all in, but if some of the comments that I'm reading, if that's a spoiler and I'm behind and what you're saying is true, I'm not going to be happy about it.
No, surely not. Aren't you watching it on Sky Sports Live?
I'm watching it on Sky, but I watch it through my games console, so it's a little bit behind
it could be 30 seconds behind.
Yeah. But 30 seconds have passed since that.
And I'm still a minute behind Matt when he's 30 seconds behind.
What minute are you on, Brandon?
29:42 now. What are you?
Yeah, I think I'm the same as you, mate. To be fair, are you coming down this weekend, Matt, or
this weekend
for the Newcastle game? Are you down or?
I can't, no, unfortunately. But the thing is, the reason that I'm on so many watch-alongs, I work every weekend covering live sports, so it's difficult for me to actually commit to
the irony.
Yeah, I know. So luckily the games like this, they fall on the day that I'm not working, but I had a full day yesterday, so couldn't have even.
Yeah,
I suppose I could have travelled up for today's game, but no, unfortunately I'm not coming. Are you going?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I have to keep my head low around there.
Yeah,
because they're all my mates, and I can't even be arsed with it.
Yeah. Hope we get a result.
Yeah, I'll just have to find Lee and everyone and just like put my hood up, and that'll be it.
No, I think the comments were on a false one before. I'm not sure.
What did you say?
I think someone was trying to kind of ascertain who got the first goal, to be fair. I'm not sure.
Well, they're saying it's Cresswell or Souček. It was Bowen that got the goal.
Yeah.
Cresswell or Souček will be credited with the assist. It was Cresswell's cross, but Souček touched it. But I'm not sure if they're given it as like an official touch because it was only a light like scrape. Like Ivan Toney didn't get the assist the other day from that long throw-in.
Well, I was thinking that. And if that is the case, if it's Bowen's, and I'm not... Because of that touch from Souček, wasn't Bowen offside once the touch come from Souček, though?
I think, great header from, I think it's Fernandez. No, it's not Fernandez. Someone. Clark.
So I didn't know whether it got given because Bowen touched the ball too late. I thought it was already in. I don't know.
No, I think, I didn't know if it was already in, actually. It might have crossed the line. But no, when Souček touched the ball, Bowen was behind the ball. He was in front of the original cross. But, sorry, no. Yeah, it was...
Just someone's put there. Cresswell scored. Bowen was offside. I don't know. I thought he was. I thought Bowen was in the goal, mate, when the touch come off one of them.
Well, if so, then Cresswell didn't score because that cross was not going in the net. Souček scored surely. If it was,
yeah, it was over the line when Bowen touched it.
I'll have a look and see what the Premier League.
Get the replay up, Bab.
It's given Cresswell the goal on the official Premier League. Souček touched that. I swear.
Yeah, he definitely did. That. So that's when I thought when he touched it, where Bowen was, I thought Bowen's on the line. So if Souček's touched it, surely Bowen's offside.
Yeah.
But I think maybe Bowen touched it when it had already gone in.
Maybe, yeah. But I swear Souček touched because that cross from a left footer from that left flank, you've got to hit it with outside spin with the inside of your foot to go in.
Yeah. True.
I don't know. That's a weird one. We'll see on the replay. I'm sure it'll be changed after the match because there's no way. I'm sorry, there's no way Cresswell scored there.
Matt's not having it.
I'm not. We all saw it.
Physics.
It got 2 touches. It got touched Souček and Bowen. And fair enough if Bowen was already over the line, but Souček definitely touched that. Even on the VAR check, they were checking if Bowen was offside from Souček's touch, not the Cresswell cross.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%.
Go on. Good touch from Wilson. Good hold-up play. Right, come
So,
on. Why is Maxi there? Sorry, it's just frustrating me. Go on, son, have a dig. That's crap. Jacob Murphy cuts in from the right wing on his left foot, puts it about, I'd estimate about 40 yards over the bar. Joe Willock there with looks like his parents either side of him. Don't want to assume, but just 8 goals in 14 appearances, it says there for us. That'll be a tidy little return if you can get the same again this season.
Just to throw it in there, lads, as it's the first one. If you haven't already, please drop a like on the video. And if you're not already, please subscribe so you can continue listening to the dulcet tones of the 3 Musketeers.
Is that who we are now?
Apparently. That's all I had. That's all I had.
It's a good win from Richie there. He's bought a free kick on the left wing. Just about 10 yards inside the opposition half. Could put a dangerous ball in, but I reckon, short ball to Shelby. Another wasted opportunity to get the ball into the box there. But
take a 1-1 at half time, would you, Matt, before the game? Or take a draw at half time?
Not before the game. Having watched the performance, I'd take a draw because we've been sat back in our own half for 90% of the game. Before the game, I would have been, if you told me we take the lead in the first couple of minutes and then they come back and dominate for the next 40, then I wouldn't have been happy about it. But having watched it, then I'll take a draw. I wouldn't take a draw at the end of the game. I think that's a crap result on the opening day of the season in front of the full crowd. You've got no excuse.
I agree.
Entire squad of fit players apart from Joe Willock and Paul Dummett and Dubravka, but you can't really criticise Woodman for the goal or the left back. Maybe you should be tracking Bowen. Oh, that's a great ball. Bowen's in behind. Oh, no, sorry, Ben Rama's in behind. Looked offside to me. Yeah, linesman's flagged. Never mind, I changed my mind. Linesman flagging early is good. Offside.
Coming back to your COVID, Matt, what were your symptoms?
Oh, you name them, I had them.
Really?
Yeah. It was bad. I had a rough few nights. It was the worst ones. Really were. To be fair, the only symptom I didn't have was shortness of breath. My breathing's been fine, but muscle aching was the worst one. Like I couldn't sleep, and I felt like I ran a marathon. Yeah, it was awful. But it was, luckily for me, it only lasted a few days. I think Monday I started getting like a few, this is a while ago. On the Monday, I started getting a few kind of coughs and bits like that. And I thought it was just a cold because I didn't feel too bad. And then I was through it by Friday. Still had a bit of a cough, but all the night sweats and the muscle aching and all that stuff had been and gone by then.
So after how long did you feel good again? How many days?
It took me about four days, to get over the worst of it. I still got no smell or taste, which is the worst one.
You don't?
I still no. I wish I did, because honestly, I'm like not eating at the moment. I'm eating like porridge in the morning, and I hate porridge just to try and stay
you literally not taste anything at all.
I've got a little bit of my smell back. I can smell really strong garlic.
Yeah.
And I could smell one of the candles we've got around the flat. But literally, like, it was weird. This is a really disgusting detail.
Oh no!
While I was really ill and I had no smell, I didn't shower for 4 days and I couldn't smell myself. Like it was bad. Like it's really weird. But like I'm just eating like plain foods. It's really weird. Like I'm trying to stay healthy. Obviously, got a load of fruit and veg in. Like even the ones that I don't like, just munching away at that. But you can taste the textures of foods, but you can't taste the taste. So like I don't really like bananas, but I've been eating loads of bananas, but it still makes me feel a bit sick because I like the texture's there, but the taste isn't.
Yeah, that'd be weird, I guess. The only time I've ever had anything remotely close to that was with a sinus infection where I couldn't, like, but even like a really hot curry, there was a faint taste, so it wasn't completely like dissipating. But yeah, it sounds horrible, man.
It's not great, and there's no real solution to it either. There's all these kind of home remedies and advice, but you just got to wait, unfortunately.
Yeah.
On rare occasions, it could take up to 6 months, but I really like food.
I've seen that, mate. I've seen
It's
that.
weird. I never had it. That I lost my taste or smell. Just I lost my smell a bit because I had a stuffed nose, but after that went away, I had it immediately back. So it's crazy though that you had it, but
yeah, not everyone gets it. It's I think it's 1 in 3.
with the
Still
taste
pretty
and
high
smell.
Yeah.
ratio
Don't quote me on that. I'm not a doctor.
though.
Oh, come on.
Nowadays, everyone is a doctor.
Yeah. Well, positive news that you're well, mate. No pun intended.
Thank you, mate. Yes, I'm out of isolation today, so that's all
Yeah.
gone well.
Renty from Magpie Channel, he's struggling at the moment. He's in hospital
Is he?
with it as well, yeah.
Best wishes to him. Hope he recovers soon.
Yeah.
And ball! Ref, don't you dare blow that whistle. Don't you dare blow that whistle. Wilson's just kicked the ball into the face of Kufala, who went down injured, but we still had the ball in their box. It's all good. He's let the play go on and he's up. He's uninjured. Might have a little bit of a bloody nose, but it's fine. He's tough. He's Czech.
Of course, he's Czech. He's tough.
Come on, pick your head up, man. We're enjoying a bit of possession in the opposition half, which is good.
Connor, good to have you in, mate. Very well. Hope you are well too. How have you found the game so far?
And on. Sorry, mate. It's frustrating me how deep Saint-Maximin's dropping to come and get the ball when we're... Go on. Yes! Jacob Murphy with a back post header. Yes!
2-1.
I hate being behind, man.
It's a 2-1.
Fucking brilliant. Brilliant! Get in!
Get in, son.
Matt Ritchie. Well, it was Almiron.
Connor's good luck.
Honestly.
Will be
Brilliant
cool.
stuff. Thank you, mate. 2-1. I think, was it Mike that said 2-1-2 at the start? And he said it again, or was it someone else? But that was great play. We enjoyed a long, long spell of possession, doing well to keep hold of the ball. Matt Ritchie offloads it to Almiron, then goes for the overlap. Almiron picks him out. Really nice vocal play from Matt Ritchie. Picks him out. Ritchie floats it in over the entire defence. Murphy gets in front of the left back, cushions his header into the back post. No power behind that whatsoever. Do we care? Do we hell? It's in the back of the net. Side netting. Beautiful stuff from the wing backs. Great play all round, committing men forwards there. 2-1.
Nice. Good goal.
Get in. I've just seen that, yeah.
Get in, son.
Such a, I don't know what to say about the header. It was just like that. No technique.
I just got a feeling it's going to be a
on
good
the
season
head.
for Murphy. I've just got a feeling.
Yeah, really hope that not just for him, but for us.
He's a good lad, you know.
Go on, Jacob Murphy, son.
We were talking about local lads. He's one that supported Newcastle from when he was a bairn.
Ben is a baby, right?
Yeah, from being little, yeah. Like a little man. A small boy.
Bairn.
Yes. Yeah, when I moved to Leeds and I said that, people were so confused because it's not really a thing down there.
Is it like a slang?
Yeah, I think it's a Geordie. Well, it came from abroad. I can't remember where it came from, but it's a Geordie word, I think. Feel free to correct me in the comments.
That's it, Penguin header. We're all going to do the Jacob Murphy.
Beautiful. Come on, let's make it 3 before half time. Max
Oh yeah, I see Willock's mom now.
Go on. Oh. This is good. This is weird for me because all the watch-alongs that I've been on, someone's been ahead of me and I've been the one suffering.
Yeah, but mate,
I'm
just
not...
do it. Celebrate. It helps.
Yeah. I was watching that. I did the watch-along for the first England game because I was isolating from someone else getting COVID. And there's a bar right outside my flat and we could hear the goal go in down there before I could hear it on the stream.
Love that.
Yeah, I never watched another England game in the flat after that. I was like, I'm not having this ruined for me.
Well, soon, in a few years, you can live next to the stadium, literally.
Yeah.
With Mike Ashley's plan building the flat there, the land he sold. So, what's going on there?
Come on. Good defending. I like Woodman. He takes a lot of time on the ball. He doesn't move the ball quickly, and he's got a lot of people shouting at him. But I think it's good to have a calm head to take. He's not being under pressure or anything. He's just surveying the game, and he picks out the best pass. He's done well for me so far. I'd like to see him command his box a bit more from set pieces, but we'll...
I will say that was a great challenge from Ogbonna on Maximin. earlier.
No prisoners there, was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, JB knocked some of his Lego over while he was celebrating. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but you've got more important things in your Lego right now.
I'm going to be doing that all day.
Oh shit! No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. No panic. No dramas. Believe. Ooh, ooh, oh! Ben Rama, 25 yards out. Great strike from a headed ball outwards. Woodman went scrambling. Looked like he had his post covered. He's a big lad, Woodman.
He's
very
isn't
long.
Is he?
Yeah, he looks massive when he dived for that. He stretched out so far. I thought he was struggling to get there, but he looked like he just had his post covered. Just wide of the post from Ben Rama. Great chance from here. He's looked dangerous today.
Who's that? Sorry, Matt.
Ben Rama for West Ham.
Maximin's been lively in the last 10 minutes as well.
Mm-hmm. It's always worth getting shouted at for being too loud, Nick, especially when you're celebrating a Newcastle goal.
Yeah.
Don't ever be ashamed of celebrating too loudly.
I have it sometimes. The window will be open. The missus will be like, the window's open. Neighbours, blah, 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 blah. Fuck them.
So what? So
Fuck them.
They should be celebrating too.
Exactly.
Come on. Tady. Prosím, dej mi další pivo, prosím.
Would anyone let Gale go instead of giving a new 3-year deal at nearly 30? Got Adam Armstrong back at 24, considering we already had the hefty sell-on clause while he was at Blackburn. I quite like Dwight Gale. He doesn't always, he's not a crowd pleaser in the Premier League. He doesn't always play his best, but he's an instinctive finisher, and we have lacked that. I mean, Wilson's obviously great as well at that, but Gale's the kind of player that'll finish with 1 or 2 touches.
Yeah.
And I like having that. I like having it because Joe Linton fannies on and he'll take 7-8 touches before he hits the ball. Same with Almiron. And I like having a player in the team that'll just hit it because it catches the keeper off guard. You saw the Brentford Arsenal game when Canos hit that, completely took Leno off guard front post.
Did you see McGinn's finish yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Matt, like you say, just one touch, instinctive, balls come over, hit it, top bins, unreal. Finish. But that's exactly that. Like, you just caught him off guard, caught the keeper off guard.
And they're on about bringing, Adam Armstrong back. Adam Armstrong, when we had him, he had a fair few chances. Wasn't really good enough for first team. No qualms about letting him go. And in the Championship, he has struggled, or in the lower leagues, he has struggled, and he's come into his own recently. Meanwhile, Kraft has a decent shot over the bar there. Coming to his own over the past couple of seasons, but I genuinely don't think he's going to cut it in the Premier League. Yes, he got a goal yesterday, I think it was, but that was from a defensive mistake. And
I was going to say, not to take it away from too much, but it was a gift, wasn't it?
It was a great finish. He puts it right in the top corner, but it was on a play. It was 1-on-1 with the keeper. You don't get many of those, and they're the types of goals that he'll thrive off. He's that kind of player, in behind, a bit like Callum Wilson. I'm not sure he's going to do great in the Premier League. We'll see. As a halftime whistle goes, Newcastle United 2, West Ham 1. Goals from Callum Wilson and Jacob Murphy, giving Newcastle the lead.
Don't spoil it, man. I still have a minute left.
A goal
Sorry, mate, go on.
Apparently, Aaron Cresswell, but we still think it was. I still think it was Thomas Souček or even Jared Bowen. But apparently, it's been given to Cresswell from VAR. But yes, 2-1 at halftime. Decent performance all round. We'll get Steve on at some point during this halftime break to have a quick chat.
Which Steve?
American Steve.
Uh-huh.
Okay. To have a quick chat about this game and about the games that went on yesterday, because we know he watched all of those take place, so he can tell us a little bit about who to watch out for, players and teams who we should be scared of this season. But first half, all in all, Brandon, happy with that?
I'd take it any day.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, for sure.
Play
decent as well.
Was the score reflective of the performance? Yeah. Do we deserve the 2-1?
It could go either way. West Ham could have nicked 2-1 as well, but we're doing all right. With this, we can easily go, like all the comments are saying, top 6 easily.
Easy. Well, we will be if we win this.
I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna set the bar again. I said 10th, top
Going
6.
6. Carl, what do you make of that first half performance? Who stood out for you?
Maximin definitely stood out towards the back end of the first half. Again, Miggy, lively, energetic. I think, yeah, Woodman, you know, he's doing what I wanted him to do in terms of trying to, you know, he's made some excellent saves. Defensively, I think we look relatively sound. I know you've got Jared Bowen, who's a lively player, but I don't look, you know, I think it's a very even game in terms of the way we've set up. We're not going to go. Unfortunately, we've got the players to do it, but we're not going to go out on the front foot. Think we counter-attacked very well. That ball in from Matt Ritchie was fantastic because he's almost overstretching for that as well. Yeah, I thought it's relatively solid, mate. The first 25, 30 minutes is what I expected from Newcastle. But Maxi looks really dangerous going forward, and they just look unable to handle him. I think having the likes of Ritchie, Murphy out wide, who are able to cross the ball in, is obviously help, and then having an actual number 9 in the box is
Guys,
very beneficial.
Got a question for you guys. Like, if Willock is allowed to play next week, for who he comes in? I mean, I'll make sure he's starting, right?
It's a great question. I was going to ask that earlier. I completely forgot. Yeah, I had no idea. Maybe Almiron, but then you lose your wide player. Because Almiron's been playing very much on the left-hand side of this attack. Do you go to a back 4, sacrifice one of the defenders, and play him as a kind of behind the striker, number 10 attacking midfielder? I don't know. I genuinely don't.
Shelby?
I don't know, because Shelby's done well to dictate some of the play of this game. He is tracking back. Yeah, maybe if we stick with the same formation, probably Shelby. If we don't, then maybe go to a back 4, then we go to Kraft.
Well, I don't think he will go to a back 4 though.
I don't think he'll go to back 4.
I think he's got to though. I think he's got to. I think, you know, I think Willock, Shelby, and Hayden is such a complementary midfield for each one of them. They all do different jobs, and will allow each other to play the game not properly. That's the wrong word. We'll be able to suit each other's strengths so well that it's for me it's a no-brainer. But I do agree with both of you. I don't think he will.
It's a good point in the comments from Matt here. ASM's dropped into Willock's position. Once he's in, will be very dangerous up front. It's a great point. You know, when I was complaining earlier about Maxi dropping far too deep to get on the ball, that's what Willock will be doing. So Maxi will have a lot more freedom. So great point there, Matt. I'll jump out for a little bit to let Steve in. He can tell you all about the games that have gone on over the course of the weekend and give his thoughts as well. So yeah, I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you again just before the second half.
See you later, mate.
Bye.
Am I kicking you out now? Okay. Matt's done it.
Go on then.
Do you want me to do it?
What's going on?
How are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, doing good. Just streaming Newcastle, then got some league going, Leipzig on, so doing good. Nice Saturday or Sunday morning. So,
what's the time where you are now, mate?
9:53 a.m.
Wow, love that on a Sunday. Well, first of all, good to have you back in, mate. Season started. We're 2-1 up at half time. How have you found the first half?
I'm surprised, but in a good way. I really, we didn't look too bad. Conceded the goal, but I kind of expected that. I just didn't think we were going to get 2. But we historically do really well in this game. So I mean, but yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised. Nice header from Jacob Murphy and Wilson.
On a quick side note, though, this is how we were talking, especially last season, first game of the season as well. Yeah. And we all know how that went, you know. So I don't want to be too positive yet. I want to see a few more games, but it's a good start.
Yeah.
We still have to win it though, but
I'm pretty optimistic. I would say probably the majority of the time we were defending, but there were some we've taken our chances, and then did we hit the bar? Who hit the bar?
Clark. No, Almiron.
Yeah, Almiron hit the bar. So we're creating a little bit more than we saw last year for the majority of the season. But yeah, pretty good. pretty good stuff so far. But yeah, we gotta just be wary of West Ham because they always carry that threat of scoring. And yeah, but great start. So happy.
Who stood out for you so far, Steve?
I mean, John Doe Shelby hasn't been that bad, honestly. I haven't said that in quite a long time, but he actually wasn't too bad. Jacob Murphy's dealing with Ben Rama, I would say, pretty well so far. Almiron has looked a little bit more lively. Just almost everyone has looked real good. Woodman had a good save or two. So and pretty good so far. I'd say probably standout. I really liked probably ASM just because of how lively he's getting, and he's getting in that Joe Willock position. Seems like he has a little more license to actually go and progress the attack. So
100%, mate. How do you think we're faring defensively? Is it something? Have we set up in the way you expected Steve Bruce to set up? Do you think we're sitting too deep? Do you think there's potential that we're going to allow West Ham to come back into the game, or do you feel that we're looking relatively comfortable?
I don't know. We are playing a little bit more defensive than I thought. But having said that, we do have 2 goals, and we had 2 or 3, one really good one, and then we're creating chances. It's better than it seems like it'll be a little bit better than last year. Hopefully, this isn't a false dawn, but we're doing a little bit better than I thought. Honestly, we're setting up the defense. Yeah, it's probably the majority of the time, but it's not as painful to watch, to be honest.
Do you think? Do you think having the 52,000 screaming Geordies back in St James's is helping as well? Because obviously there's players there that haven't had that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's absolutely crucial that we got that first goal. Because imagine if West Ham scored, then the crowd would be like Newcastle, not only having come back from a deficit, but coming back from their own fans almost, and then all the negativity and the whole toxic environment and stuff like that comes, and that's even more adversity for the team. So I think getting that first goal, getting the crowd on side, yeah, we conceded, but then right away respond. So it's huge that we got that first goal, because then it becomes Newcastle 11 versus our own crowd and West Ham. So where Carl go?
I don't know. He just left. Are you still there, Carl?
Yeah, my camera's died, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to put it in.
You never looked so good before, to be honest.
Right,
is that me being rude?
No, not at all, mate. Don't do that. I'll just have to drop out, lads. I'm gonna have to change the battery on my camera. Bear with me.
No worries. We'll take over.
Cheers.
Yes.
No worries.
Brandon.
I'm
How
back.
are you doing? There he is.
I've replaced it. You've caught me mid food.
People love to eat, to watch other people eating, so
Well,
you're
yeah,
fine.
we get loads of views this way. Yeah. Well, you know how
Oh, the numbers are going up already.
I've got no smell or taste. I've just eaten a slice of bread with nothing on it, just plain bread.
Yeah,
Not even
disgusting.
toasted.
So you don't feel the texture of the breadcrumbs or anything?
I can feel the texture, I just can't taste it, like, at all.
Well, but bread doesn't have.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, with everything else. Yeah, NFTV mukbang. Yeah, that's what this stream's turning into. For the rest of the game, we're not going to talk about the second half. We're just going to scram loads of food on here. Oh, go on, Steve.
What did he do?
Got more viewers for that now. But yeah, with Steve, we mentioned on socials that you'd watched all the Premier League games yesterday. Was there any team that stood out for you as a surprise? Anyone that have improved from last season, or one of the teams that was promoted that surprised us?
I'll do one positive and one negative. We'll get the negative out. Crystal Palace. Oh my God. I mean, Vieira did well with New York City when he was New York City FC, when he was here in the States in MLS. But then at Nice, he got battered in the Europa League, had Nice playing real bad. They had like Balotelli and Dolberg and Pierre-Elise Maluz now on Norwich. They had a real slow start to their season. They dropped them. And yesterday it was god awful.
Yeah.
They didn't have a shot on target or a shot in the first half. 75% possession for Chelsea, so they were extremely poor. Like it was they looked like a bottom of the play side, which I predicted. I think Palace gonna finish bottom. Just too much change in that squad. Yeah. I didn't like the look of them at all. And then so that was the negative performance. I thought that a surprise, because I didn't watch every Premier. I had 2 Premier League games on, and then I had like the AZ Alkmaar game on. But I was surprised to see Watford 3-2. They were 3-0 up, and then 2 goals. But I mean, Watford.
Steve.
Yes.
What did you make from Brentford? I thought they looked lively and surprisingly played pretty well. They just went for it.
Are you really surprised? Arsenal are regressing before our eyes, and they have for the past few years. And I don't care about Arsenal, but if I was a supporter of them, I would want Arteta out immediately, because he's had almost what? Because he replaced Emery mid-year 2 years ago. Because he had a full season last year, I think, and then he finished 8th. So 2 back-to-back 8th finishes, and they brought in Thomas Partey, Albert Zambi-Lokonga from Anderlecht, and he has no excuse. Arsenal don't have any excuses. So it was very poor from Arsenal. But having said that, every single Brentford player worked their socks off. I mean, Ivan Toney was coming back and marking guys at some point, and he is a hellish player to play against. He's a handful. He was fouled in the game, I believe, and he caused chaos. And Sergi Canos, that was off a really poor Arsenal clearance from Callum Chambers or Ben White. But yeah, Brentford deserved that 3 points, and they probably deserved another goal or 2.
Steve, just real quick, check your WhatsApp if you can, real quick. I actually liked it as well at the Brentford game. The manager, he's such a nice lad.
Thomas Frank, yeah. And Brentford are, mate, you got headphones. People complaining about your sound. Am I too loud, or does it just sound like shit?
Yeah, cracky and
it's all right.
a bit loud.
Not too bad. It's just there's a bit of static on the connection, but it's all right. It's not too bad. At least for me, anyway.
But I thought it could have come in handy if you had the headphones or whatever. Probably solve the problem, I guess.
Hold on 1 sec.
It's interesting the criticism that you've leveled at Arsenal and Palace, because before the season started, I picked those two teams as to do surprisingly well this season. And I know they've had shocking opening weekends, but I think that they've both been let down by bad managers, really, because the squads that they've got, Palace especially this season, the investment that they've made is quite impressive. Like, they've signed Anderson and Guehi, two brand new centre backs who Anderson did quite well with Fulham. He's quite well accustomed to the Premier League already. And then a promising young centre back from Chelsea. That's solid. And then they've got Tyrick Mitchell coming through in the left back position. And then they signed Olise from Reading as well, who's just the Eberiche Eze of last year. So they've got Zaha, they've got Eze and Olise to all come back from injury. They are pretty badly hit from. I'll just slide over to this side so you can see my face while I'm talking. They're pretty badly hit by injury, Palace, but I thought that they do a lot better than they had done, but maybe Vieira's not really cut out for this league. Arsenal, on the other hand, I don't know where that went wrong. They've got an almost full strength team apart from the strikers. You know, they're missing probably their 3 first choice strikers in Aubameyang, Lacazette, and then even Nketiah, the third choice striker, missing that game as well. Just really poor from them.
I just have no idea where the goals are coming from Arsenal's side.
No.
I have no idea who's going to score them.
I'll add Steve back in if he's ready.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hello.
Better?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Sounds better, Brandon?
I guess so, yeah. We'll see in the comments anytime soon.
Well, I think Carl is almost back and the second half is about to kick off. So we'll say goodbye for now, Steve, but I'm sure if you're around, we'll see you.
Quick prediction from Steve. What's going to be after 90 minutes?
I think it'll stay the same score because I think Newcastle are going to. I hope that they'll have the proper strategy. It's good to protect your lead, but I would love an insurance goal because then you can concede one. But I'll say 2-1. I'll say 2-1. But yeah.
We'll see at the end of the game. But yeah, thanks very much for jumping on at halftime, Steve. Appreciate you as always. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see you at the end of the game if you're still around.
Yes, you will. Of course.
You take care. Right,
thanks for having me on real quick.
Take care, mate.
No worries, mate.
Take care.
Carl back on if he's ready. Goodbye. Carl, give us a thumbs up in the background if you're ready. He is. Lovely stuff. He's back. He's off centre, but he's back.
I'm off centre. Hold on. Bear with.
And the cap's gone. He's got a lovely trim underneath.
I've got the greys out. Got the grey hair out.
I put the cap on and he took it off.
Yeah.
We just switched.
Attacking threat. Apparently, last season, I don't know if this was just in the West Ham game, we created 11. Now, there must be, on average, every game, we created 10.5 chances per game. In the first half of this game, we've created 11. So we're already doing much better than we did last season in terms of chance creation. Let me know if there's an echo on my mic, by the way, because I've took my headphones off, so we'll see.
No, you sound good, mate. Sound good.
Lovely stuff.
Jesus. Might put the hat back on.
No, leave it out. Yeah, facial hair's looking good there. You've been using Manscaped there, Carl?
No, it takes me about a year to get this to grow in, so I'm not right.
You don't touch it.
No, I don't touch it.
like the advert where he goes to the hairdresser. Oh, not that hair, not that hair.
Exactly that, mate. So, yeah, I shave about once a year. Oh dear. Right, what's that called?
Don't start about facial hair with me, like fucking hell. It takes me 2 weeks to grow a little bit sort of chin hair.
I trimmed mine down last night, but this looks like I've been growing it for months because it takes that long for me to get it out.
Yeah, I wish I could actually grow a full beard. I wouldn't grow in. Jenny wouldn't grow in.
I don't think we have anyone on the channel who has a good beard except for Johnny, though.
Yeah. I've got to stay careful because Johnny will have some words. That's funny.
People telling me, like, believe me, you should be happy that you cannot grow a beard, really. But all I want is just to have a little bit more of. I want to get rid of the baby face, but probably never will work in my life.
If I had expendable income, I would get beard like an implant.
Really?
Yeah, well, I don't have an expendable income to go and spend like 3-4 grand on facial hair.
Well, you can do it in Turkey for cheap, like.
That's true. That is true.
So, get yourself a holiday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this is very strange. This feels strange.
Being in the lead.
Yeah, that and having a relatively decent amount of attacking opportunities and us being the one that's taken more of them.
It's nice. I mean, you can credit however much you want to Graham Jones, but it looks like we're trying to be more positive this season.
Yeah.
Yes, we are sitting back, but we are creating chances. We're getting the ball in the box. We're getting players up to support it when we do get it up there.
This is it, and I've said in the chat, you know, and we're all massive critics of Steve Bruce last season, and rightly so. But to a certain extent, I'm going to try and give him a bit more leeway because I just found that when we said things, there would, you know, the opposite would happen for us last season, and we did end up finishing in a relatively strong position, regardless of whether we thought we were ever going to get there. We did. So I'm just going to be like, you know, just take it with a pinch of salt, but then. Yeah.
If it goes tits up, though, now there's no hiding for him.
No, definitely. I mean, it's one of them, though. If you're saying that we're going to improve and there are actual slight improvements, I'm okay with that. But you're telling me we're going to improve and then we revert back to how we were at the start of last season, then obviously he deserves criticism. But if this is how we're gonna look to build on right now, I'm not gonna complain too much.
No. I mean, it annoyed me slightly when Steve Bruce said, like, "Oh, change doesn't happen overnight." But,
Yeah.
well, yeah, you've been in charge for
You have been
how
in
long
charge
now?
for three. Is it his
2
third
years.
season?
This will be his first season, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully his last.
Correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah. It just annoyed me that because you're the one that should be enforcing change, you know?
Oh, absolutely, and that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to say that we're going to change, then do that. Like, don't hide behind your words. If we start to see change, that's fine. You'll start to get fans behind you. But
yeah,
if you can't continue to say the same things and then play the same way,
yeah.
Is it full capacity actually today?
put the lucky hat. All right, I'll put the hat back on, gentlemen.
There's full capacity available. I don't know if it's sold out, but I think by the looks of it, it looks fairly packed out. I think there should be at least 50,000 in there. John Joe Shelby in the going in the book, getting his customary booking. Wait, is he wearing the captain's armband?
Who?
Shelby.
John Joe?
No,
He is, you know. He is.
I thought Fernandez had it.
So did I.
No, he is
took it at
captain
half
actually.
time?
He is captain, I think.
Does he
That's
walk
weird.
back and say, "Give me my
he's captain.
band. Give me my band back"? That's strange.
Well, we might have to stick with John Joe being captain as we're winning. I mean,
Brandon, take the hat off. They want us to go back to how it was previously because we were winning. Everyone's being a bit superstitious.
why do I look better without the hat on?
No, you're not saying that. Just saying that.
I can go and get my hat and put that on. We can all be matching.
Do it.
Hold on, just got
So they don't concede straight away.
well, they just had a free kick over the bar. So.
Thank you, Ronan. I saw your comment. Thank you. You look better anyway. Cheers to that.
Well, that's frustrating.
So McLaren.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Is that Lando in the back there?
Do you know, Miggy getting out of his McLaren on the way to the game this afternoon as well.
Hey.
All good signs. All good signs.
You know what? Miggy is the last person on this team I'd expect to drive a sports car.
I was so shocked, mate, when the photo went in the group and he's literally getting out of a McLaren. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Someone labelled it, I think, like Miggy getting out of his Batmobile. I was like, that's a McLaren. All black.
It's off.
They haven't just scored once you put your hat on.
What's going on? Did they equalise?
Matt!
Fuck's sake.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
It's
off.
so poor. It's so poor. Maxi dispossessed in our own half. Jared Bowen on the ball, picks out Antonio in about 40 yards of space. Jacob Murphy nowhere to be seen. Lumps a hopeful ball in, lofted into the back post. Rat Ritchie's not covering his man. Ben Rama heads into an empty net. It's a good header, to be fair. Keeper covers it well. It's just right, placed really well. But Matt Ritchie nowhere to be seen. And none of the three centre backs.
To lose the ball. Fucking hell. Aye. Don't know what Maxi was doing there, like.
No.
Can we blame this one on Maxi?
You blame him for losing the ball. I think you blame Jacob Murphy and Emil Kraft for letting Antonio have that much room to get that ball in the first place.
Very frustrating.
And then you blame Matt Ritchie for not tracking his man, or even Kieran Clark for not covering. You've got three centre backs. You shouldn't have a hopeful ball chipped into the box, not even whipped in. You shouldn't have that just floating there.
Kieran Clark should have cleared it, like.
It's just so poor. Like, I do enjoy Jacob Murphy getting forwards. He offers a lot going forwards, but it's defensively there's questions asked because both the goals have come from that side.
Aye. I thought we were actually winning today, but
You jinxed it. Don't blame me.
Reverted back to type. Oh,
same
dear.
old shit.
ASM lost the
Yeah.
ball. Fucking hell. Someone who's put Ronan that stupid yellow hat.
It's orange.
It did look yellow to me. I've got different settings on my computer.
He,
Is it
he bought his
actually
hat
orange?
from AliExpress, actually. That's why it's yellow.
Bloody hell.
At least we have, let's stay positive. We still have plenty of time to win it, but
Yeah.
Oh, look, I did say 4-3. No, we're halfway there.
yeah, you're close. You're getting closer. Who did you say who will be goal scorer?
Said Wilson Brace. Well, I didn't include Jacob Murphy, so
You're wrong on that one already.
Maxi
Right.
and Kieran Clark bullet header.
I'll take your result any day now. Yeah. Oh, that one quiet though.
Go on. Oh.
What minute are you on, Matt?
55 going into 56.
Okay.
You're definitely you're a minute ahead of us. Us, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Fucking hell.
How frustrating.
It's more fun to do the live stream when we're winning, but strangely enough. Matt, who's gonna win the driver championship, world championship with Formula One?
I'd like to say Verstappen.
Good
Although,
luck.
I've got nothing against Lewis. I just like something different. Like when Leicester won the league, no one cried, did they?
Ooh.
No.
It's all just a little bit sketchy with Mercedes now. It's just all falling the last few races too much to their side. What happened?
Well, at least we're having a go.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to let you see it. We didn't score. So,
Okay.
but it was awfully, awfully close. Oh, Kung Fu Wilson. Max's
it about-
headband is saucy today. I think he's actually wearing a Gucci headband.
He is. Blue one.
I thought he had to wear like Puma or something. Oh, we don't
No.
have Puma anymore, do we?
No, you don't have it
He was
anymore.
wearing, yeah, because he was wearing Louis Vuitton ones in pre-season, wasn't he?
Mm.
Shit. What happened there, like? It's the Kufa. Sochuk. Oof. Was it the ball from Maxi that you
Yeah.
said?
Yeah. Come on, lads.
Yeah, that was close, wasn't it?
My stream's being dodgy, so I might actually catch
Louis
up.
Vuitton. He's actually got a Louis Vuitton headband on.
Yeah.
Not Gucci.
No, Louis Vuitton, mate. Don't mess
You know,
with
oh,
yeah,
the
I see it
swag,
now.
bro.
Trust it.
It's so daft though. But I don't know.
How is that a foul? Oh, grow up, referee. Jesus.
Well, if he more grows up, he will be in a coffin. Tell you that. Willock doesn't look happy anymore.
What do you think needs to change in this game for us to win it then?
Better defending.
Go on then. Would you make any subs now, coming up to the 60th minute? Usually when subs start to arrive.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Share for
Do you know-
craft.
I think Isaac Hayden's been really quiet today, really quiet.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, who can we replace him with?
You know the answer to that question. Mr. Hammer Slayer himself.
Hammer Slayer.
Jeffrey
Mr.
Hendrick.
Jeff.
Love it.
Jeffrey.
Is he the owner? I don't even know if I can still do it.
I can see Gale benefiting from a game like this where
Yeah.
we're getting one or two men into the box and they're just playing fast counter-attacking football. If he's on with Wilson, I'd take maybe Almiron off and stick Gale on. If you're going to keep the same formation, I think that might be a good shout.
Yeah.
Bit more of a goal threat.
I like to have Kraft change for Cher as well because Cher likes to go forward as well.
Would you? Yeah, it's not a bad shot. Would you look at bringing Fraser on at all, or are you happy with the front three? Front three.
I wouldn't change too much. Maybe Miggy, but
Yeah, I think the only person of the front three that I'd even consider taking off is Miggy. The referee's not give that, has he? He's not.
Or maybe the answer to all the questions is probably Joe Linton.
To be honest, it's a free reign, really, because you take Miggy off and you've got Fraser, Wilson, or Joe Linton to bring on.
Yeah,
and they can all play in that kind of left forward attacking position. So Fraser probably for pace, but Miggy's already kind of tried that. So do you bring Joe Linton on for physicality? Personally, I still take Gale personally.
Fraser could probably bring Wilson in good positions.
Craig said he'd sooner have Bungle and Zippy than Jerry. Come on. That's great, Craig.
Yeah. Steve, you're welcome, my good man. Bruce Tactics score, defend, concede. Yeah.
We're not defending very well at all. I think maybe Shelby needs to come off. Someone called him championship standard earlier, which was a bit harsh, but I think his lack of tracking back today has maybe been what's cost us.
Be careful, someone will throw out some statistics where he's run 10 miles from nowhere.
Oh, Christ.
Who was that?
Oh! Refs give a penalty. It's
For
never
them?
a penalty, like. It's never a
For
penalty.
us?
No,
West
for
Ham
them.
penalty? Oh, you joking?
That's never a penalty. I really don't think that's a penalty. They hit the post, and then the rebound came out, and
Oh, come on, no.
I don't think it was a penalty. I think he gets the ball, but I'll watch the replay now.
Jesus.
I think he gets the ball. He gets the ball for me.
Is it gone to VAR? It's got to have, surely.
Maybe everything will get VAR'd, but yeah, he gets the ball.
So this might be overturned.
Really, that can't. If the new rules are, it's going to be a bit less strict. Not everything in the box is a penalty. He wins the ball for me, but it looks like it's being given. He wins he's off his feet, but Fornals is already going down.
How is that a penalty? How is that a penalty, man?
I think they're still checking it.
That looks really light.
Surely not. Surely that's not a penalty. Surely not. It doesn't even look like one in real time.
No way offside.
Surely it's not a penalty.
Apparently the check's complete on the penalty. But
They've give it.
They're checking something else, but I don't think it's going to be overturned. I really don't think that's a penalty. I think that's a really harsh decision. I know we're all biased, but
I don't. If they're just saying because he's jumped to ground, he's got the ball.
I tell you what, this is a massive moment for Freddie.
Is he giving it really?
He saved it!
Has he really? Get him!
The rebound!
Have they scored? Oh, fuck off!
Fucking Souček! Fuck off, man!
That's annoying.
That's a really good save as well. It's just.
I hate Czech players. Did I say that?
It's a great save. He's dived low to his left, but he's tried, instead of palming it out wide, he's tried to stop the ball and it's just pinged out. It's a great save. Oh, he's unlucky. He's really unlucky there.
Fucking hell.
What's everyone saying in the chat with regards to that? Do I think it's a penalty?
I think everyone.
Chat, do you think it's a penalty or not?
Yeah.
Never a pen.
That's really light. Fucking hell, we go from 2-1 up to 3-2 behind.
Premier League.
It's showing it after the penalty he's scored. He gets the ball. I don't understand how that's a penalty.
Okay, so check.
Oh, it's such a good save, isn't it?
It's a joke. This is a joke, man.
I feel bad for Freddie Woodman
really
there.
Don't get luck, do we?
Why didn't Richie run for the ball? He stopped.
I don't know.
Jesus. All we now can get is like a fucking draw, probably.
You know what? He's unlucky as well because he's actually saved it well. It's actually just rebounded back out off his knee.
Yeah, it's a good save.
Ah, poor kid. Fuck it now. How is that a penalty? He's caught him after he's already got the ball. How is it a penalty? How is that a penalty? How? Knee on knee. He's got the fucking ball. Oh my word.
Jacob Murphy's had a stinker. I mean, you think Murphy's obviously got the goal, but you think the first 2 goals came from that right-hand side when he wasn't tracking back. And then the third one, he's given away a penalty. Whether it was a penalty or not, he's dived in the box.
Yeah, no, agreed. Like like you've all said, the defending prior to that was fucking terrible.
Hey, we've got Craig the optimist here saying, Carl, your prediction 4-3's on.
No, yeah, it is on though, isn't it? Where's my phone?
I hope it's true.
Something needs changing though.
Oh, frustrating.
Oh God, here we go again.
What's going on?
No, come on, no. Oh, fuck off, man. I fucking Jesus Christ.
4-2.
I can't be arsed with this defense. Where is the defense?
Fuck's sake.
I really can't be. No. The game over. Absolute typical.
Who scored it, Matt?
Antonio Benrahma with the assist. Fernandez gets sucked up by Antonio, loses the header, then continues to press despite losing the ball. There's just no defense. Absolutely, this is a disgrace. It's a good finish. It's right into the bottom corner. Keeper maybe should do better, but it's just fucking. The keeper should save that, really, but still. This team's going to be the bloody death of me.
Oh no, mate.
Jesus.
So who's back four's been worse? Arsenal's, Villa's, or Newcastle?
Well, technically not ours because it's a back fucking 5 and they're still all.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. Fucking hell. It was a great finish though, like you said.
What do you expect though with Kraft in your squad?
I just don't understand that starting him anyway. I'm not going to put it all on him at all, but like,
scoring the players is going to be fun.
I mean,
why is Fernandez jogging? By the way,
I don't know.
Why is it he's fucking jog? Well, actually, was it Clark? I think it was Fernandez or Clark. One of them was fucking jogging.
Well, Fernandez gave the ball. Well, didn't give the ball. It just didn't win it high up the pitch and didn't track back. Looks like Fraser's coming on, or he's getting stripped to come on. Gale's still sat down, so he's not going to be coming on anytime soon.
Who's Fraser coming on?
It doesn't say yet. He's just talking to the manager at the moment.
All right.
And I thought we had a decent defense. So did I, Dylan. It's been terrible. This was. I didn't think it was too bad the first time.
But it's stupid. Like you're not even playing your best defenders.
No.
Why wouldn't you? Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you can say for sure that the Benrahma goal doesn't go in if Lascelles is playing.
Well, wait. I remember why we don't play our best players. Because we have Steve Bruce as a manager. I got it. I mean, Jesus, man. Sorry, guys. Go on. Just a joke.
Yeah. If Jamal Lascelles is playing instead of Kraft, say it's in a back 3 and he's playing on that right hand side. Does he stop all the goals that are the first 2 that come down the right hand side?
Say that again, sorry, Matt.
Jamal Lascelles, if he's playing instead of Kraft in a back 5 on that right hand side, does he stop the first 2 goals that come from the right hand side? Do we clear the corner that the penalty comes from, or clear the cross that the penalty comes from?
Well, at least one of them gets dealt with. Do you know what I mean? We're not conceding all 3 of them with him on the pitch. Definitely not.
No.
One thing I know for sure, our positioning will be better.
Mm-hmm.
We could have at least saved one of them or 2 of them, but
I have to say, credit where credit's due. Benrahma, Bowen, and Antonio have absolutely terrorised our backline. Benrahma's been good. Bowen on. Oh, Shelby's going off for Fraser. That's a good decision.
That's a good sub. Good stuff.
Is Fraser going to play that number 8 role that we've heard rumours of, or is he going to go on the left-hand side and Miggy moves into the midfield?
Probably lost.
See, that I know I'm a bit behind, but I don't know who it was at fullback playing that ball out then. It was just fucking lazy and piss poor.
Yeah.
Giving it straight back to them. Was it Rich? It might have been Richie. It's not good enough. Not good enough at all, that's not.
I feel a bit sorry for Freddie Woodman, Premier League debut, letting in 4 in front of a packed home crowd. Because he's, apart from the Antonio...
Can you really blame him, though?
You can't blame him at all.
No, I was going to say, he's not at fault for anything, is he?
No, apart from maybe the Antonio goal at the end, the 4th one, he should do better to that. But it's just so powerful. But yeah, he's been absolutely shafted by his...
That's a good strike.
Like this is the difference between us and them. Matt Ritchie's got the ball in a dangerous position on the left-hand side. He goes to cross the ball in. He's immediately closed down by the right back and the defensive midfielder. That cross doesn't even get anywhere near the box. Meanwhile, Jacob Murphy and Kraft, for the first 2 goals, don't track a single man between the pair of them. Give up. I give up. Goal and assist for Ben Rama, goal and assist for Antonio.
I'm going to the toilet, lads. Be right back.
Yeah.
Mute your mic.
Yes, I will.
I'm joking. Oh. What are you trying to do there?
It's just so frustrating. Like, we know what this team going forwards is capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've scored 2 goals, but what was the plan? Shut up shop? Well, we've not
This
done
is
that.
it. That's it. It just seems like the only plan is to absorb pressure, score, and then there is no plan after that ever.
Yeah. Richie's trying to dive and buy fouls now, but the referee's having none of it. West Ham are on the counter-attack. Ryan Fraser's having to fill in at left wing back for now. Hayden's treading water. Murphy's actually in position for once, but West Ham still have the ball in our box. Oh my God, I thought I was in. Murphy's being absolutely had on toast by Ben Rama. He's had his number the entire game. Why is it always the ones you root for are rubbish?
I don't know, mate.
Get him in the bastard. Get him in the book. Declan Rice has just ankle tapped saint-maximin, bringing down, and it's not even a booking. John Joe Shelby got booked for practically nothing, and then, although it looks like Rice has knocked himself in the tackle as well.
Fucking hell.
I give up. It was a good season while it lasted.
How frustrating. Thank God that Willock is playing next weekend. Willock will make a difference. He will make a difference, but it's like it's still not enough. Is it?
Here's a good question. Is that no, not that one. If Newcastle get relegated, who do you think would get snatched up? None of them. They're all shy. Probably Wilson and
the front. Yeah, I was going to say the front 2 or 3. Other than that, obviously Joe Willock as well. Yeah, Tony, definitely happy with the signing, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good signing. It's a shame he's not on this game because he would have had a run riot in the first half. I still, as happy as I am with Willock, it wasn't necessarily the area we needed to strengthen. We did need to strengthen it, but you've got Matt Ritchie playing left wing back, he's done all right. He's not been fantastic. And then you've got Jacob Murphy, who had a decent season, not fantastic, a decent season last year. But before that, was just an out-and-out right midfielder and was a bit shit.
Yeah.
And then he's come in and now he's the first choice right back. And you've got the least choice right back, the bottom choice right back playing at centre back when you've got one international centre back on your bench and the other one's your club captain.
Oh, God. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, good point, Mike. Joe Willock will be saying, why did I come here? I think we're all asking that question, to be honest.
Well, he probably sorted out something in his contract that can let him leave quickly, right? Or easily.
Yeah, there's a good point from Tony here. Do we not need a centre-back over a goal-scoring midfielder? Maybe we don't need one over a goal-scoring midfielder, but when you've let Florian Lejeune go, who is on loan last season, probably one of the better centre-backs we have, and you see Emil Kraft playing centre-back, for God knows what reason.
That's it. Like, where is the logic there? Did they honestly feel that Emil Kraft was a better option than Florian Lejeune? Genuinely.
Yeah, I don't know. How much did we get for Lejeune? It was undisclosed at the time, wasn't it?
So I wasn't overly I wasn't massively disappointed with him going because in context he only played like 40 games for us because he was injured. That being said, like, he's had the best season of his career last season, having a full season, playing in decent competitions. Well, I think he played 38 or 40 games last season, something like that. So considering we were paying his wages anyway, or even if it was half of the wages, I just don't understand why you wouldn't allow him to have at least 6 months up until January, for example. Like, I just don't understand that at all.
No.
Especially, and I said I wouldn't have minded so much if we'd have got like over 10, if we'd have got like 10 million for him. And as far as I'm aware, someone was saying it was close to like, more like 3, something like that.
Which is joke.
Just scandalous.
Yeah. Yeah, saying someone asking about Nat Phillips rumours. Honestly, why not? To me, he comes off as a younger, more inexperienced Jamal Lascelles. Just big and will throw himself in front of anything. If it's a loan, yeah, I'm all for it. But you've got to start your centre backs before you buy some. You're playing a right back, centre back. You've got 2 sitting on the bench. Why not use one?
Absolutely. It is strange that Lascelles not playing. It is strange. Has something been said? No idea, mate.
Someone asking if Manquillo's injured. Nope, he's not. He's just not being picked. All right, so Caden coming in with his trademark loose tackle there, but luckily he gets away with it.
Yeah, he hasn't had his best game today.
No. He still looks off the pace, like he's treading water.
Yeah, he's coming back from a pretty horrific injury.
How much preseason did he play? Because you think he'd be back
minimal, I think, wasn't it? To be fair.
Yeah. Oh, for God's sake, that's so lazy. Kraft is bloody awful. Here we go. This is going to be another goal.
What happened?
I'll tell you in a minute. No, they haven't scored. Kraft tries to play maybe a 5-6 yard pass to Almiron just outside the centre circle, and it's short, and one of the West Ham players intercepts it and counter-attacks, and they nearly scored. Fraser. Oh, just round the post. Decent. Oh. Yeah, maybe we do need a bit of ponytail in our lives. Andy Carroll's available.
Get Jeff Hendrick on. Can't believe I've just said that. Oh, fuck. Where?
Have you just seen the Kraft and Almiron moment?
Where they've just let Declan Rice do what he wanted?
Yeah.
Look, what the fuck is Kraft literally gone man for man with him, then decided that actually he can't do anything, so he's peeled off to go back into his position and run away from him to give him more space to drive at goal. Have I just seen that right? Is that what he's just done?
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on there. Yeah,
what the fuck?
Who on earth sanctioned this signing, and who is picking him still?
He's just gone to tackle a guy and then ran away from him once he's got to him. What the fuck is he doing?
But literally, it makes you wonder why we sold Lejeune.
Yeah.
I don't understand it at all. I don't understand it.
At the moment, I don't know who I'd rather see leave the pitch, Kraft or Jacob Murphy.
If we were playing a back three of Clark, Lascelles, Fernandez, or Clark, Lascelles, and Shaw, or whatever that combination is, then okay, fine, and that I understand. But Kraft over Lejeune, I've got no words.
No, absolutely not. Paul's here. He's a Leeds fan. Chin up. West Ham are a good side. You'll play easier, as will we after yesterday's debacle. Must admit, I'm surprised you switched off and let West Ham take over. They're not a good side. They're not like they're a solid side, but I'd say on paper they're no better than we are. Well, it depends if you take Kraft into that equation. But they've got Antonio, who he's a decent striker. He plays his role perfectly. And then you've got two unpredictable maverick wingers in Ben Rama and Bowen. You've got a similar kind of saint-maximin and then either Fraser or Almiron, take your pick. So you're pretty matched up there. It's just the defence.
Yeah.
I'm wondering actually why West Ham is not playing Yarmolenko.
Yeah, I don't know if he's not fit or something.
He's on the bench.
Yeah.
We know. I know 100%.
Yeah. No, it's just, well, I don't know. I'm just muttering to myself now because
Sam coming on for scoring the players.
It's just going to be us three for scoring the players. Yeah, Sam's not coming on anymore. Sorry, guys, if you're waiting around.
He isn't?
No, he's not going to be able to make it on. So it's going to be us three for that. And then, of course, the live fan reaction later on after scoring the players. So stick around for that if you're wanting to get involved. Yeah, that's a good point from It's Finners there. No plan B from Bruce. It was the same all of last season. Lee's being saying when we go behind, we should change the formation, switch up the tactics. But Bruce has said always, I don't like tactics, which, it's 2021.
Who needs tactics?
Well, you look at a side like Brentford, who, they've got quality players, some quality players, but realistically, they're a championship team, as were Leeds last year. But they've got a manager who absolutely knows what he's doing, and they get miracles out.
Exactly.
There's a reason that both championship sides got a result this weekend, and it was because they're newly promoted and they thought, let's go and have a fucking go. Let's not give them any respect. Let's go and have a go.
Yeah.
What do we do? Sit back.
Relax.
After being 2-1 up.
Take it easy.
Just
but the problem is that it all the time just works out for Bruce as well. Like, he thinks, in the end, I will get 40 points. I'll be the man in the end. Like, I'm right in the end and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, with this football, of course, you got to pick up points here and there and probably win a few, but I don't know if this is good for long term, though.
No, of course. And it's just frustrating when you are 2-1 up and you can close the game out or at least build on that. And instead, you continue playing the same way that you were. And this is what happens. I don't know how many times this has to happen for it to sink in. I really don't.
I have to say, though, the penalty was probably game-changing. Yeah. And it was an easy given pen. I mean, I don't know.
No, that's a fair point.
Curious to see I'm curious to know what would have happened if the pen wasn't given. It would have probably be a draw.
The saviours are coming on. Sean Longstaff and Joe Linton.
Yes.
Yay!
I mean, they haven't done that today, mate, because had they have sat back today, it would be a 0-0 game. They've not been counter-attacking today.
So there's 6 minutes left of normal time. And now he decides to take Kraft off to go to presumably a back four with Jacob Murphy as a full-on fullback.
7 minutes to play.
Do you want any guesses who's gone off for Joe Linton?
Wilson?
Callum Wilson. You need 2 goals to get into a game, and
he's gone for a straight.
What a joke.
Absolute disgrace.
I don't
Oh,
know.
sorry. No, I was wrong. We haven't changed the formation. We're still a back five. Isaac Hayden's now a centre back.
I can't.
Smiles.
I can't.
Happy new season.
Clearly, there's hope for us right this season. I would like to think so. Though.
I can feel the rage building up inside me. I just need to keep taking a
want
breather.
Good half an hour rant from you, Carl.
This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, next game will be fun for Steve Bruce already.
Yeah.
Get his chest wet. He'll be probably sweating already next game.
Don't even care if it's Graham Jones that's made this fucking decision. Like, what are they fucking smoking?
Probably one of the good Dutch stuff.
No, not the good stuff, mate. Because if it was a good stuff, they'd have made a more creative decision.
Fair enough. Oh, whatever
Is this
they like.
cheap shit stuff?
Cheap skunk.
Yeah, cheap skunk, man. That's what they're smoking.
They've been on some moonshine or whatever.
Go on, you useless! Whoa!
Joelinton almost scored.
Said penalty in the chat. Is that true?
No.
4-3.
No, it's fucking Macca.
Someone is joking.
If Jacob Murphy goes down, then maybe it's a penalty. But this ref's giving us nothing.
I can still not wrap my head around it that Macca's can have fun out of this when they're still fucking League One. What's the problem?
Clutching at
Check out yourself, man.
That's all they've got to clutch at. Rajesh Khan just as suggestion, but your live stream would really benefit if it had a match clock. Yeah, it's something I've been looking into for a while, mate. Unfortunately, it's a little bit difficult to get hold of one that's not paid.
Yeah, it's difficult, especially because we're all on different games.
Yeah, that's not either.
It's a good ball in. It's a crap header.
What a genius Steve Bruce is! If in the end, Joelinton and Sean Longstaff score the equalizer.
Matt Ritchie's just had a hopeful shot on the rebound from a corner, deflected out. It's flying in. We've got another corner. We're on the attack at least. We have not threatened from set pieces, I have to say. Apart from, obviously...
Do we have a good free kick taker, though? I mean...
you never get to see...
Ritchie, maybe, but who else? Shelby? I don't know.
Fraser's good at scoring opportunities from dead ball situations, definitely.
Yeah, good point from Graham here. I think the match has been won and lost in the game management, hasn't it? They were down 2-1 at half-time. They've come out and they've said, right, well, we need an early goal. Well, they didn't get too early, but then they've said, we're just going to attack and get the momentum back, and they've absolutely done that.
100%. I don't think there's any other way to look at it other than we've made the wrong decisions.
At least Matt Ritchie is still going for it, though.
Yeah, I will say that. There was times last season where this would have happened and we'd have just rolled over. And that is a really minute positive to take.
This is proper, like what you should do as in the West Ham position. They've done what we should have done. They've subbed off Ben Rama for Fredericks. They've took off an attacking player for a defensive player in the 88th minute of a game when they've got 2-goal advantage. They didn't do it from minute 1 and sit back and try and protect the lead that they didn't have. I'm trying to work out what bloody formation's playing. Genuinely think Ryan Fraser's like a floating centre mid.
Ben Rama for Fredericks.
They don't do tactics or positions here, mate. The only one is flat back five, and then everywhere else plays where they want to play.
If you're getting 2 false 10s.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
Isaac making a point. We've got the same problem as Everton. Rolls Royce attack and a Scooters defence. Yeah. Pretty much. Oh, God, it's the same old fucking story, isn't it?
Got a long day ahead of us. Making
Can you
content.
remember the last time we played, like, actually played? Would you say Man City we played well?
When even was that? I can't remember that when
The
that
last
was.
season. I think it was the third last game of last season.
Was it?
Oh, here comes Yarmolenko for Bowen.
What are we gonna make out of this lot? Jeez.
Yeah.
Dear me.
Sometimes there's times that I regret joining NFTV. And we have to talk about this shit, you know. I mean,
I thought we were going to really
First
positive
half was
couple
okay.
of shows after. Really positive afternoon.
Yeah, they always, no matter what happens, we could have sold like all of our players in the summer, but we would still have had some optimism going into this season. It only takes 90 minutes of shit to bring you right back down to reality, doesn't it? All summer since the Euros came on, I've been looking forward to football coming back. And then this is what we've got to put up with. And you know what? In 3 days' time, I'll be looking forward to the next game. I'll be excited for Villa.
Yeah.
And then we'll go and get pumped 5-0 by them.
Please, to God, no.
Colwood hates his life. He probably goes hiding. He goes in quarantine for like 10 days. Just
definitely.
voluntarily. You guys are both jabbed, right?
Only single.
No, mate.
I've not had my second dose. I had my second dose booked, but because I got COVID, I had to push it back a month. So
you're not jabbed,
jabbed.
Oh, hi.
No,
I think the rest of the lots are all.
I'm just waiting until the little one's born. I didn't want it to knock me off my feet and stuff like that. So,
but you will.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, you guys know my standpoint, though.
I've not made a complete final decision, mate. To be fair.
It's Finners in the comment saying we lack discipline. Takes one leader in the backline to structure it. Yeah, he's calling Jamal Lascelles and he's on the bloody bench still.
Considering he's actually our main captain as well.
Yeah. Well, Fernandez and Clark are both good defenders, but neither of them are particularly. They don't strike me as vocal players in that backline. They don't lead. Fernandez out of the two, but even then. Yeah, well, that's a good point. Superfly. At least we're not Arsenal. Could be worse. Could be much worse.
Yeah.
Kevin Nolan's. I didn't realize Kevin Nolan was backroom staff at West Ham. Antonio's gone off. Ben Johnson's come on, no doubt to humiliate us.
Oh dear. A lot of people are pissed off home, aren't they?
I don't blame them. Can you imagine what has it been? 18 months since the last full capacity, however long it's been, and you pay God knows how much to go and watch a game of football. You watch your hometown club or the team you supported all your life. You want to go see them in the flesh. For some people, this is the first time seeing Saint-Maximin in the flesh with his skills and Callum Wilson in front of a big crowd, and he gets slapped 4-2 by a bunch of Londoners. Like, is there anything more humiliating? Could be Sunderland.
No. Oh, other than Sunderland, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. It's just disgraceful, man. It's just shocking.
Have they booed?
I haven't got my match sound on, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So I've not heard much of it. I've not heard much of anyone getting at Bruce or anything like that. It'd be interesting to see what the lads say.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have videos from the lads at the match going up later on. They'll have some live reaction from the game, as well as the last word, as well as always. That'll be from the stadium or from outside the stadium, giving their reaction to the absolute debacle that's got on today. So, yes. Oh, and there's, sorry to spoil it, lads, but there's the final whistle. 4-2 at home on the first day of a Premier League season to David Moyes and his West Ham. Everyone happy? Yeah, I'm real happy.
Oh, that's frustrating.
I've got a balcony that's looking really tempting right now.
Fucking hell. Kelsey there, though, having 5 at the back and conceding 4 is embarrassing. Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Are the fans booing? Let me have a quick listen.
I will.
How long should be blowing right now, shouldn't it? Mixture of cheers and boos. It's not deafening.
Well,
It's
cheers is
weird
probably
what-
West Ham fans.
It's weird seeing St James's like half empty with people leaving early. Though I will say that.
Yeah. Well, it was like you can call it a game of two halves because 2-1 and then 3-0. Like we've conceded 3 goals in the second half. Yes, one was a dodgy penalty.
Yeah.
But
Andrew Bell says John Joe can go and play for West Ham for me after that performance.
yeah, I think. Well, we've got scoring the players coming up in about 5 minutes. We'll be us three dishing out our thoughts on the game and the individuals that performed in it or didn't perform in it, rather. And yeah, after that, once that's done, we'll be having our live fan reaction. So you can come and give your thoughts on that performance. I'm sure we'll have a lot of happy campers after today's game. After discussing the penalty on Sky Sports. Well, I've got to give it to, I think, what's his name? Is it Michael Dawson that's the pundit on Sky Sports? He was on Sky Sports Soccer
Saying
Saturday.
that it's not a pen.
I said absolutely not a penalty, Hans. You know, he's the defender, so maybe he's a bit biased in that sense. A striker may say it is. But good on him for sticking up for that. But I still don't understand how that was given as a penalty.
No.
The VAR, yet again, too scared to overturn the on-field decision, despite the on-field decision being a bad one. It's appalling, really, because, they say they're trying to be lenient, but is that too much? Is that too lenient? I don't know. I really do not know. And Brandon's disappeared into the ether, so hopefully hopefully he comes back before 4 o'clock when we start scoring the play. Otherwise, it'll just be me and you.
That's fine,
right. They're just showing the penalty save again from Woodward. It's a great first save. He's annoyed at himself for the rebound. How has Richie been done for pace by Souček? I don't know. Anyway, yes, it's finished 4-2 at St James's Park. Newcastle United falling to defeat on the first day of the season against West Ham after beating them twice in the league last year. Not a great day at the office for everyone, but there's some positives to take away from it. Callum Wilson scoring in front of a home crowd, in front of a full home crowd for the first time, and Saint-Maximin putting in a good performance as well. Hopefully they can continue, and Villa next week, Joe Willock will be in the fold and no doubt starting after that performance. So hopefully it's a better result for next week. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for keeping us company in the watch along. Really appreciate it. It makes us more entertaining when you get involved as well. Andrew saying that it was a weak pen. Graham saying, thanks, chaps. Roll on next weekend. Thank you for watching, Graham and Andrew. Very much appreciated. And then, yes, like I said, disappointing result for us. Poor defensive performance all round, despite sitting behind the ball for 85 of the 90 minutes. So hopefully we can put in a better performance against Villa next week. I'm sure Carl will be particularly fond of that performance if we do manage it. But we'll have all... Coming up, we've got the scoring the players in a couple of minutes. Looks like it's just going to be me and Carl at the moment, unless Brandon somehow rescues his internet. And we'll have live fan reaction as well coming up after scoring the players, as well as some reaction from the ground with Lee and the gang, the lads that are at the game today. I'm sure they're going to provide some cracking content for us tonight. And the last word as well will be coming right this evening. But like I say, thanks very much for watching the watch along. We're going to move into scoring the players now. So stick around and let us know in the comments if we're chatting absolute waffle. I don't know. Are we rebranded? Have we?
I'm just trying to find a scoring the players one, and I don't think there is one. So I'm just going to go. Is there not a scoring the players?
Should be.
There used to be. I think they've been deleted.
Oh no!
Let's go to this NFTV layout. Yeah, we'll
That's
do
very
that one.
fancy, isn't it? It's got our names on. Well, channel name on. That's what we are.
Yeah. So
the title and everything changed. We all sorted
yeah,
that.
change the title, mate. That's all ready
Lovely.
to go.
Lovely. Right. Scoring the players then. Welcome if you've just joined us for this. It's going to be a fun one tonight. I can already tell. Brandon, you're back. You're with a solid connection. You're all ready to go.
Yeah, it was not my internet connection, bro. It was just
no.
I had to go to the loo and take a
nice.
piss and change my
Well,
beers.
you're all strapped in and ready then. I'll give you the honour of the first ranking then. Freddie Woodman making his debut. Not the best result for him, but overall performance, what did you make of it?
Don't really think you can blame him for maybe the Antonio goal, but that was just a hell of a strike. Don't think you can really blame him for any of the goals. It was just poor defending, so I would say 7. It's fair enough, in my opinion.
7 for Freddie Woodman. Yeah, I'd say that's fairly. I think that's fair. You know, I was checking my phone halfway through the game, and my mate's giving him a load of stick for the first few goals. And I don't think he could have done any better. You know, the penalty save, he gets unlucky, it bounces off his knee right into the lap of the attacker, and then Antonio goal maybe should have had a stronger hand to that. But yeah, Freddie Woodman 7, I think, is fair. Carl, would you like to start on the left or the right of the defence? I'll leave it up to you.
I'll start on the left. Woodman 6.5. Okay, that's pretty much on board.
We'll start on the left then. Okay, Matt Ritchie, apparently the first choice left wing back now. Take it away.
Mediocrity, I would go with. Yeah, obviously he offers quite a lot going forward. I still don't trust him defensively. I don't know whether it's aging legs or sometimes the want for a rash tackle. I just don't feel like he's our strongest option to play in that position personally. Like we said, the whole back five was pretty horrendous, to be honest. Obviously Jacob Murphy's got himself a goal and has been an outlet. But other than that, defensively, we've been absolutely piss poor in that second half. It was a stark contrast because I thought we defended relatively well in the first half, but it was good outlet. But in terms of defensive opportunities, it wasn't his best game, and I would probably give him a 6.5. Always go 6, which is pretty close. But yeah, I'll go 6.5 for Matt Ritchie.
Yeah, pretty middle of the road performance from him today. Not his best, not his worst. Definitely not his worst. We'll move on to Kieran Clark, probably the left side of that defence. It's a difficult one because the whole defence was crap today. I'll probably go for, I want to say a 4. Maybe that's harsh, but I think that he was exposed for the Ben Rama header at the back post. I think that was really poor from him. Didn't take the game by the scruff of his neck like it needed to be. Didn't command that back line at all. Definitely not the worst defender on our team, but one of the worst players on the pitch, as that whole defence was. So I'm giving him a 4. Let me know in the comments if you agree if you think that's too harsh, but I think 4 for one of the defenders today is probably going to be one of the higher marks that we get.
Someone's gone for a 2.
Honestly.
Most people agreeing with you, though, 3s and 4s, but like a 2.
Yeah. We're doing the fan reaction straight after scoring the players. It'll be about 40 minutes time, I imagine. So stick around for that, Callum. I can see you asking in the.
It shouldn't be 40 minutes. It's probably easy going for us today. It's just all over 80.
Just give them all 2s and call it a day. Go on then, Brandon. Moving across that back line, Federico Fernandez, the central of the 3 centre backs today. What did you make of his performance?
Same like Kieran Clark. I would probably rate him a 4 as well. Didn't stand out. Defensively also not really strong. The whole defense today, so 4. Didn't do much under for Kieran Clark. Same sort of performance. So 4.
Yeah,
4.
I think I agree.
I personally agree. I think that, you know, like I said, 4 was going to be the highest rating of the back line, I think. So yeah, we'll move swiftly on from him because it was a pretty invisible performance from him. I think he would have been at fault for one of the goals if they'd scored from that chance where Declan Rice had free reign of the attack. But not Fernandez's best game. I think he needs someone like Jamal Lascelles alongside him to really shine. Speaking of Jamal Lascelles, his what will probably is his replacement in that back line. Emil Kraft, Carl.
I'll just put this up first. He's shit. He's so bad.
Awful.
He's so bad. Like his positioning is awful. His communication is awful. But like I said, that one moment you already alluded to it, Matt, and then obviously we got to watch it after. I've watched him come from his centre half position, close down Declan Rice, get within inches of Declan Rice, then decide he's not going to tackle him and run straight back to where he was originally to allow Declan Rice to continue driving towards goal. It was the worst bit of defensive movement and decision making I've ever seen from a footballer. It's ridiculous. He clearly doesn't know how to play the game at all. Not at this particular level, anyway. I've got nothing else to say other than he's the worst centre half we've ever had at the club. And I feel bad for him because he's not a centre half, so he's been made to play in that position. But he's genuinely one of the worst defenders I've ever seen at Newcastle United. So he gets a 1.
I think that's fair. I mean, I think what a 1 is maybe generous, but 1 is absolutely spot on. I think he was the worst player. The worst player in that back line today.
Right, and there's a lot of people in the comments that are giving him a 5 and a 4. So clearly, I've seen it from a different perspective. So, enlighten me in the comments, lads.
I don't know what the people in the comments are saying to give him a 5 or a 4 because there wasn't one positive thing he did today. I can't remember him making a tackle.
Name one moment that he did correct.
He was piss poor.
Can you name anything?
Oh, ridiculous. I can't personally.
Absolutely ridiculous. Someone give him
I'm curious about the people who give him a 5. What he did well.
Yeah, just interesting. Not even having a go. Have we missed something? Is there something that he did that you feel warrants that score just out of interest? Because that surprised me. I thought we'd all be on board that he had a bad game.
Yeah. I think us 3 are on board anyway.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Jacob Murphy, it's just an interesting one from the late kickoff. Harry Kane is not in the matchday squad at all, not even on the bench. So that's an interesting one. For Tottenham, they're starting with what looks like Son up top, surrounded by Lucas Moura and Bergwijn. And I think Jack Grealish is starting for City. So
yeah, he's starting.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting game to watch out for later on. But only watch that after you finish watching our coverage here on Newcastle Fans TV.
He's the old manager of Wolves. Is he now manager of Tottenham?
Yeah, Nuno Santo is Spurs manager now, yeah.
Didn't even know.
Yeah. So moving on to Jacob Murphy.
Yeah.
It's difficult because he got a goal, but arguably worse than Kraft today. So I'll give him a 2. It's hard because
I'm glad you've done that because you're going to get a stick in the chat.
In the build-up, well, we all said we're rooting for him. We really wanted him to do well. You know, he's shone at the end of last season. Honestly, was great for us. Really surprised, really happy for the lad. Today, it's not his fault. It's not his fault that he's bad. But when you play Matt Ritchie and Jacob Murphy, who are 2 wingers as wing backs, you don't have a defensive bone in their body, that you're going to concede goals like you conceded today. The first 2 goals both came from the right-hand side, and Murphy was nowhere to be seen for either of them. Mm-hmm. The penalty, he gave away the penalty. Admittedly, I still think it was a soft penalty, Definitely. But you can argue that 3 of the goals today, 3 of the 4 goals were directly Jacob Murphy's fault. He was involved at fault somehow. 4th one, where is he? But yeah, I think apart from Kraft, he was the worst player in that back line today. He does offer more than Ritchie going forwards, but the goal wasn't particularly, impressive or he was just right place, right time. It could have been anyone really. Like you said, it was a penguin header. It floated into the net. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry if that hat's getting burned. It's getting burned. Yeah. So
I would say the thing with Jacob Murphy is a little bit like what Jonjo Shelvey as well. He has this one of the time standout games, and for the rest he's really bang average or even below average.
Well, talking of
like a performance like today.
Yeah, talking of Jonjo Shelvey, we'll move on from me slandering Jacob Murphy and Brandon. What did you make of Shelby's performance today?
Was he even on the pitch?
That's a good question.
I mean, I don't know. I'll probably give him it's a difficult one for me because I have to choose between a 2 or a 3. Should I be nice to him? I don't know.
No, we haven't been nice to anyone else. Don't
4-2,
bother.
remember?
No, I give him a 2 then. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
What did he done today?
Yeah. What stood out that was a bad thing for you today then, for him?
He was just nowhere, like no energy, he was never nowhere on the pitch. Like he lacked of ambition, almost.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, have you seen him this game?
Yeah. Before we continue, Paul, you diss Skodas again. You're getting a life ban from this one. I've got a Skoda. All right.
So sorry, I'm just guys. Sorry, I just see in
I
the
think
comments
Bradley's
like
got a Skoda as well, hasn't he?
Shelby played a few nice balls, so that should give you a 5. If you play a few nice balls, I can do the same.
Yeah, I can play a few nice balls.
I mean,
Yeah, if you're going to slander a car beginning with S, pick Suzuki, not Skoda. Get gone. Anyway, yeah, Shelby, crap. 2 out of 10.
hey, don't hate on Skoda, by the way. I drive a Skoda.
No, and Matt's saying the same thing. No one's hating on Skoda.
Love a Skoda.
There you go.
Someone's saying, actually, that's a good point from Abdirahman Ali there. 2 is harsh. It was amazing first half, won the ball to give out. I'll give him the credit where it's due. I did forget that he did win the ball for our first goal up high up the pitch. Good pressing from him, but then he did disappear for the rest of the game. So I still think 2 is probably fair. Yeah.
Guys, I drop out real quick because my phone is like lagging. I'm just shaking my head all the time like this. Wait.
You're fine to us, though.
Huh?
You look fine to us. It's not lagging to me. Anyway, I don't know about.
Like I have my laptop on here, and I see myself moving and no lagging at all. But on my phone, it's lagging as fuck.
Okay.
So, give me a second, okay?
No worries.
I'll be right back.
Well, we'll move on anyway for you, Carl. We'll have Isaac Hayden. Looked a bit off the pace today, didn't he?
Let me just address this comment.
Oh, sorry. Yes, we've had a few of these comments.
Harry, you don't spell Geordie like that for a start. Okay? We'll leave it there. You can take your win. You hammered us. That's fine. Second half. But no pun intended. But yeah, you don't spell Geordie like that. So if you could politely fuck off out the chat, that would be nice. Thanks, mate. But no, in all seriousness, let's get back to where we were. Enjoy the banter.
Harry, well done on the win today, but cheers for the 6 points last season.
Fair point. Fair point.
Nice couple million quid in the bag for that extra place that we got.
Is Brandon? Do I need to add Brandon back in?
I don't know if he's ready, but yeah, go on.
Okay.
Well,
right, where am I? Who am I on now?
I think you're on Hayden.
You're on
Isaac Hayden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was one of his poorer games, to be fair, but I don't blame him too much. He's coming back from a pretty horrific injury. Didn't have too much going on in pre-season. I just thought it was almost missing in the first half. Second half, he's put a few wayward challenges in, which he got away with, to be fair. And as you said, mate, he just looked off the pace. It wasn't one of his better games, but he'll progress and he'll get better throughout the season. But he doesn't get away with it either. He's getting a 2. He's getting a 2.
Harry, the West Ham fans asked if we're going down. Well, yeah, probably on that performance, and given that we don't have 6 points off you this season as well, so
I think if we can still score 2 goals against West Ham, we will be fine probably. But
yeah, he gets a 2.5 just because he's coming back from injury.
Solid argument.
Didn't do too much. Hayden 3.5. He didn't do too much wrong, but yeah, you're right, mate. Didn't do too much right either. I'm not just going to give him a 4, lads, because he didn't do anything right or wrong. Like, he was pretty piss poor, to be fair. He's off the pace. It's not his own fault.
We were lacking completely in that midfield, but Maximin had to keep dropping deep to come and fill in that midfield. We're really lacking somewhere. Why we go 5 at the back and then 2 in midfield when that's where the battle was won or lost today? Really, really. Passenger. Someone said that Hayden was a passenger today. That's absolutely right. Yeah, he was just the game bypassed him, as was Shelby. Shocking. Yeah, but we'll move on past the midfield. We've covered the back 5. We've covered the midfield 2, and it's onto the front 3. Probably the best performers on the pitch. Who should I take? I'll take Alan. I'll take Saint-Maximin. I'll give him I'll have a 7 for Saint-Maximin because
after losing the ball in the midfield.
I was going to say
fighting words.
No, I think you got a good point because he did cost us. That was probably, you can probably give him most of the blame for that goal. But he was the only one really that looked like he wanted to take the ball to West Ham. He kept dropping deep. He kept trying to make something happen, and obviously got the assist for the first goal. He was the only one that looked threatening in the midfield third. The only one that Almiron did okay, but again was a bit invisible. Wilson didn't have much to do apart from in and around the box, which he did well enough. But
I think you're just a little bit too nice on ASM though.
Too nice?
Yeah.
What would you give him?
I would probably give him a 6.
Okay, well, yeah, it's not too far off.
Well, I wouldn't worry. Like my Matt Ritchie rating's clearly overrated in comparison to the rest of these now. Like, in hindsight, it was terrible.
I think ASM was pretty middle of the road today. He tried everything he could, but he's not a one-man army at the end of the day. He couldn't dig us out of the shithole that the back five got us into. So,
but I think that he's doing on our own midfield, in the center of the midfield, you cannot lose the ball there, and that's what happened almost twice. It happened once, and you see what happened, and it almost happened twice. So I don't know. He cannot do that anymore, man.
No, I agree, but I don't know how much blame is on him because he's not used to coming deep to get the ball there because he's used to, if he loses the ball in his normal position, like 20, 30 yards up the pitch, there's not like an immediate danger. So he's used to trying stuff like that. Whereas he's had to drop deeper because someone like Willock's not in the team. So he's taking risks deeper, but he doesn't realise that. So I'm not sure if that's his fault or the way the team was set up. But we'll give him I'm giving him a 7, but we've got some dispute whether that should be lower.
It's your pick, so you're rating.
So yeah, I'm going to go for that, and we'll move on. So Brandon, do you want Almiron or Wilson?
Should I go easy and just pick Wilson?
It's not that easy though, is it?
I think. Yeah, I think. What did you say?
Winding him up.
Jesus Christ. No. Wilson did okay. 7.5. I would like to say first goal of the season after how many minutes? 4 minutes it was?
Yeah.
4, right? Yeah. So yeah, I expect a lot of Wilson today, this season. Did already. After the first half, didn't see him much. 7.5 is fair enough. I think he's the man of the match. To say.
You think he's man of the match? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I think We'll carry on and we'll talk about that one afterwards. But yeah, so 7.5, you think?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I will finish up with the starting 11 in terms of Miggy Almiron, and yeah, another one that there was a passenger. That being said, I thought he linked up with Matt Ritchie at times quite well down the left-hand side, to be fair, in the first half, that is, which led to the goal from Jacob Murphy. But second half died off a little bit, running into holes. So I'll give him a 4.5. Miggy, wherever you are.
Miggy Almiron.
Yeah. And I personally would have preferred him. I'm happy he started over Fraser. I think he's got more energy about him. But he needs to be consistent. He needs to start producing, because performances like this, if they continue, then there's no point in him being in the side.
Yeah.
It's good to see though that the chat pretty much agree with our ratings. Sometimes we're just a point off, but most of them agree with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Lazy Sunday run into brick walls mostly. He does it a lot, doesn't he? That's something he does do. That his final decision making, once he's had that burst of energy into actually creating something from it, is lacking at times. But yeah, so 4.5 for Miggy.
Room to improve though.
Yeah. He was a bit invisible today, but he suffered because of the lack of the ball that we saw in the game. So maybe we'll see something different at Villa if we take a different approach. We'll move on to the subs then. I'm going to have to wrap my memory now because of the lack of impact. Fraser the first sub? I think he was, wasn't he?
For
if the other two came on together.
John
Fraser for John Joe, yeah. I don't know how long he played for. Can I give him an NA? We'll give him a 5. Because he did have a couple flashes. He took a shot that he bent round the post.
Yeah, that's.
But didn't have too much of an impact on the game. But didn't do anything wrong either. Came on as an impact sub, but kind of had the same impact as Miggy, really.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a 5. Do you think that's fair or too harsh or too lenient?
No, fine with that, mate.
And then
I think you could easily go for the non-applicable as well.
Yeah.
I think it's more the case like did didn't Bruce sub too late.
Yeah. And the last two substitutions were Sean Longstaff and Joe Linton, who came on towards the end. Is it worth giving them a rating, or do you think they were NAs as well?
Probably say an A personally, but it's up to you boys. Do you want to do as a majority?
Let's just save them from a harsh rating and just say not applicable.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, neither of them did anything, so it would be harsh to give them a rating.
What minute they came on? 87, something like that, right?
It was something
85?
daft, but with less than 10 minutes to go, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Onto the main man then.
Yeah, the fun bit, the manager.
Fun bit.
Don't forget to get involved in the comments as usual, lads. Give us a rating for Steve Bruce today. How did he get on? The way he set up the team, the way he adapted to the game, the result, everything. Take it all into account. We'll each give a rating and find our average. And don't forget to drop a like on the video. If you haven't already, if you are enjoying it, subscribe to the channel as well as NFTV Extra, of course, our sister channel. And don't forget to drop a like and subscribe on the video. Like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Fantastic. But yeah, Bruce. Carl, you're the man in the middle. We'll start with you.
Oh, I honestly thought, you know what, we're going to be able to give him a positive result today and build on the crap that he actually says. But no, it was like you said earlier, we were brought back down to earth pretty quickly. Going in 2-1 up, you think, right, we've got a real opportunity to make either push on and get another goal or make a couple of changes and really try and shore it up rather than just keeping how it is and just sitting back and doing nothing different at all. Obviously the penalty was a real turning point, and that's not his fault, but it's just the back five starting Kraft over Lascelles, for example. Piss poor decision. Substitutions too late, and then bringing on Joe Linton, like you said, when we needed 2 goals for like a straight swap for Callum Wilson, not changing the formation, is mind-boggling to me. So I would give him I don't want to be too negative, but then we were 2-1 up and we just conceded 3 goals to lose 4-2. So I'm gonna go a 2, and I think I'm being generous. So yeah, Brandon? 2 from me.
I have to say, first half we played okay. I agreed with the sub that he did for John Joe, for Ryan Fraser. Then the subs from Joe Linton and Sean Longstaff. Okay, you take Emil Kraft out, that I agree with, but the result, I mean, probably go with a 2 as well. Just for making one good decision and setting up the team quite all right. But just Emil Kraft starting takes the number down again. So I guess a 2. Okay.
Yeah. Anything with a Kraft automatically gets you a -1.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's difficult. The substitution should have came much earlier when that 3rd goal went in. Definitely when the 4th goal went in. And maybe the personnel could have been different as well. It was funny, we were texting the lads at the game and Lee says, finally he's changed the formation when Sean Longstaff came on. It turns out he hasn't changed the formation. He's just taken Kraft off, put Longstaff in the midfield and put Hayden at centre-back. So refused to adapt to the game, tactically inept as always, Steve Bruce. Bloody hates tactics, we know this. So yeah, I'm going to toe the line with this one, and I'm going to say 2 as well. So yeah, bang average, really, well, below average. Shocking again from Steve Bruce. Team selection, I don't mind 5 at the back. I really don't. I mind the personnel that's in that 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Especially when you come up against a team like that who are clearly vulnerable. You know, you got Craig Dawson starting at the back. How old's he? 51? Like, you've got run at the lad. You've got saint-maximin, Almiron, and Wilson up top. You get the ball on the deck and run at him. Yeah. We'll move on. It's a result. It's in the past now.
Who got the lowest score? Kraft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the villain of the
with the 1.
With the 1, yeah. Could have been
all
even
the blame to Carl.
Oh, I'll take it. Like, if anyone disagrees with me, that's fine. But I thought it was a 1, personally.
Is it perspective though, guys, for the future? With Joe Willock coming on soon, probably.
Look, I think as we said, I think that there was times last season, and I think obviously if things continue in this vein, it will be the same. But the one positive that that it seemed a really minute positive that we didn't just roll over. We did still try and attack to some extent, whereas in games previously we'd have just sat down and just opened our cheeks, basically.
The most frustrating thing to come out of this game is the amount of chances we created, because you can tell Bruce is going to go, right, we created loads of chances. That means we were really attacking. So we lost the game. I'm going to do the opposite now by not attacking at all to make sure we don't concede. It's just going to go.
I hope you're so wrong, mate. I hope you're so wrong.
I really hope I'm wrong too, because Jesus.
But it kind of makes sense what you're saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
if you go in the great head of Steve Bruce, he probably thinks that way. I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised to see us get rolled over at Villa. Absolutely slapped down there.
Please don't get that bad juju around here right now. I don't need it.
I'm burning the hash. So all the bad luck's gone. All the bad luck's going. But no, thanks very much for tuning in, guys. If you've stayed with us through the watch along and scoring the players as well, or if you've just joined us for scoring the players, thank you very much for not only tuning in, but for chiming in the comments down below as well. Appreciate Carl and Brandon keeping me company for the last couple of hours or so, or coming up to 3 hours now on the live stream. We're not done yet, though. We're not done yet. We've got the live fan reaction coming up very, very shortly in a couple minutes' time. Carl and Brandon will be speaking to some of you live and getting your thoughts on the game. We'll be tweeting out the link to get involved if you want to jump in. Someone apologising for the rude West Ham fan. We're all football fans together. Whatever team we support, we're not all like him. Eric, West Ham fan. I appreciate that, Eric.
Appreciate that, Eric.
That's a very, very nice sentiment. Thank you very much for the apology, but we're used to people like that on this channel.
Yeah. So, and if I'm completely honest, I've been like that myself on Twitter over the last couple of days. So.
Yeah, we're all guilty of that at times. So yeah, like I say, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Dayan's got it right. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned if you want to get involved in the live fan reaction. These two are going to keep you company. I'm going to have to go. Unfortunately, I've got some personal stuff to deal with. But thanks, guys, for keeping me company. And I'll see you very shortly. And you take care.
Take care, mate.
Goodbye.
Good on, mate.
Just going to chuck a quick YouTube gaming advert up there before me and Brandon take over for the fan reaction. First one of the season. So bear with us for a couple of minutes and we'll be straight back. The link is in this description as well in the chat if any of you want to join in, because we've still got a good 135, 140 people watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. He's gone. He's left. He's left already. Is there anything? No, let's just go to this one. He's in the toilet. Can everyone hear him? He's left his microphone on, pissing away again. He always gets caught out.
Jesus. Okay.
That's
I just
funny.
try to be as quickly as possible, man.
That's fine. Right, let's
Why
get
do you always
this.
do this to me?
Oh, it's not me, brother. You left the microphone on.
I turn it off, but I don't know. Whatever.
Well, we've still got Steve Bruce up as a 10, a 2 rather. But yeah, we're back, mate, with the fan reaction. I can't wait to get everyone in here. Stressing about what a crap result was it again. Why can't I get rid of that? We've got Steve first. We'll bring in one at a time for now. Welcome, Stevie boy.
What's going on?
Well, it's a very different conversation from what we were having at half time, mate, to full time.
I'm so surprised. I'm shocked. I'm so wow. We
Whatever
choked.
you changed your tune shirt actually. For now, what kind of shirt you wearing?
Is that Lens?
Lons, yeah, yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Jeez.
Watch it, yeah. Lons and Saint Etienne are on, so I bet on Lons. So.
That's why. But
Bobby Cadbury scored like a minute in. So pissed off. But yeah.
Talk me through it then, mate. Talk me through how you were feeling. Obviously, we're used to this. Your sarcasm screaming through. Yeah,
I don't know what to say. I The penalty. All right, we'll start off with the penalty. All right, yeah, it wasn't a penalty. I don't think anyone really thinks that it is. I was listening to the NBCSN crew talk about it, and Robbie Musto was like, "Yeah, he gets some of the knee, but there's a lot of ball in that." And I saw a bunch of replays of it. I don't think it's a penalty, but you know what? Sometimes those things just it's shit, but it just happens sometimes where you get a call against you. Sometimes it's for your team or for whoever, and sometimes it's against you. And but you know what? If it really was, if we really did, if we lost off that penalty, then yeah, I'd be more pissed off at the ref or whatever. But then we go and concede another. And it's a shocking performance. And even if the penalty wasn't called, I don't think we would have won. I think we still would have lost 3-2 or 4-2. So it pisses me off, but I'm not surprised. So,
was there any positives to take away from the game at all for you, mate?
Sure. The forwards, ASM looked lively as usual. Callum Wilson banging in a goal, which we're going to have him. If our defense looks this bad, then we're going to have to score a lot more than just 3. Than just 2. So even that's not enough. There's not really that many positives. We still have Bruce coaching this team and being tactically inept.
There's one positive. He was on the bleachers, but right?
Yeah. The fans back in attendance. That's awesome. That's awesome to see.
No, I was talking about Joe Willock actually, but.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, yes. But
I'm curious to see how that will play out. I'm not saying he's the answer, but who knows?
He can't do it all himself. He can't. I love the guy, and I wouldn't be surprised if he scores for a ninth straight game. 9th straight game on from last year. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't next week, but I won't be surprised if we get beat 3-1 or 4-1 or whatever. It's just it's the same stuff. We know what we're getting with Bruce. We know what we're getting with these really average players. Lazy work ethic, mentally not tough. I don't even know what to say. It's fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. Matthew, I'm a West Ham fan. I agree. It shouldn't have been a pen. Newcastle played well first half. We just controlled the second half.
Yeah,
absolutely agree. That's exactly that was bang on. Matthew, if you want to come on and have a discussion, you're more than welcome to, mate. Definitely.
How would ratings would have been, or how would you rate the Bruce or whatever, if it was just based on the first half? Like, then there's positives to take, right? I guess for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I guess, it was like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 first half, but then the second half was a fucking fat 0, and that's what I'm giving him, a fucking 0. You give up 3 fucking goals, and yeah, one of them was a shit penalty. So even if you discounted that, we're still losing 3-2. We're dropping points from a winning position, playing fucking craft and all this stuff. It's just, he doesn't learn his lessons, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. Mike Ashley doesn't give him a reason to be a better manager or to try to be a better manager, because we're hearing all these reports about a 3-year extension. You're rewarding not just mediocrity, but just the fucking lowest of the low expectations and performances. Just survive the Prem. That's not enough.
Like I just can't wrap my head around the last 2 stops. Like Matt was saying, as for jokes, like the takers are coming on.
Aiden is a center back.
How can you take Wilson off? Okay, you take Kraft out, fair play. I can agree. I don't know if I would have picked Sean Longstaff to do the job, but take Wilson off. Your top scorer last season and scored already this game, and you take him off and put in Joe Linton. I mean, okay, you can bring Joe Linton, but taking Wilson off is just mind blowing for me.
Yeah. His substitutions, he didn't cater to the situation in the game, and where the scoreline or any of that stuff, he catered to his way. He put on the players for his formation. It's all about him keeping his job, because no other fucking team in this country or any of the other 4 divisions would want fucking anything to do with him. And it's all about his system and, dusting ourselves. And it's all this bullshit. And it's just, and like, why?
I think I figured it out. I think he just loves the criticism. He's just like he loves the critic, and he just like it's like a weird fetish for him, probably.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I get everyone hating, and it's just, he's fucking terrible, and I really don't think we're gonna survive this year. It's early doors. I hope I'm wrong, but seriously, if this guy is in here, that is the detriment of our fucking team. Joe Willock can score. If Joe Willock scores fucking 3 next week or whatever, do you really trust our back 5 to not concede 4 or 5, or at least give up?
Well, if you just start putting up the back line properly, you leave your captain out that you had almost for all last season, last season.
Sells.
I don't know if he was unfit or whatever, but other than that, I can't see a reason why you wouldn't start him.
Yeah, it's terrible. And then we let Lejeune go to Alaves. So it's really poor. It's really, really poor. So I don't know. I don't know.
I just like to give it a few more games though before I drag any conclusions or make any.
I've seen enough because Bruce has been here for a while. We've had a sample size. We've had a very fair amount of sample size, and then now we're saying, oh yeah, now we're gonna sell. Not that Andy Carroll would have been like the savior or whatever, but it is an extra man out of the squad. We have a lesser squad. We brought in one. We paid Muto to leave, and Lejeune is out. So it's just, we've seen it. We've seen it before. So,
Carl, do you agree with Steve? Have you seen enough already as well?
Well, in terms of Steve Bruce's.
No, I mean like for the rest of the season, are we going down like he's saying?
Oh, if it continues in this vein and form, obviously we're going to be in and around it as we are. I said I'm going to try and give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit more than I did last season, just because of where we ended up finishing. But today hasn't filled me with confidence because he hasn't learned from his mistakes last season. And I agree, like when you're 2-1 up, you shouldn't be, regardless of the penalty, you shouldn't be sitting back and then absorbing 3 goals at home as well. Not away, we're at home in front of 52,000 people. And like Matt rightly said in the watch along, a lot of those people seeing the likes of ASM, Callum Wilson, first time in the flesh. First half was a fairly decent performance, fairly decent.
Yeah, we 2-1 up. Yeah. Good start. I can't take it away from that. But it's about how you finish. And we didn't finish. We didn't even bother crossing the fucking line. Yeah. We just trotted off and and then Bruce brings in the subs and look, I'm setting up these expectations for myself because if it does happen, then you know what? At least I'll be like, hey, we saw this. I saw it coming because And that's the thing. I was getting pissed off when we conceded because we're winning, and it's just like, why? Why bother? Yeah. Seriously, why bother having high expectations if I just
I know one thing I will say as well. I don't. People were saying it in the chat. I'm not going to act like West Ham on a good side because they are. To be fair, they've got some good players. And I'm not looking at West Ham at the start of the season and thinking that we're going to walk over them. It is going to be a difficult game. We did well to take 6 points from them last season, and it would have been fantastic to start that way this season. And we absolutely had the opportunity to. But I don't look at West Ham and think, we should be beating sides like West Ham, because West Ham are a fairly decent side. If we're completely objective about how we are, we know what we are. Do you know what I mean? Especially based on last season and the way Steve Bruce performed. So. It's all well and good, and I've done it today about Aston Villa. Watched Aston Villa play yesterday. They were fucking terrible, but are we going to beat them on Saturday? Probably not, because we won't make the right decisions. Even though we've got decent enough personnel to beat teams like that, we probably won't. Not taking anything away from West Ham, because Jarrod Bowen, their front three were caused us a lot of problems today. A lot of problems.
If you would only be positive, you would say, let this be a lesson for the rest of the season. But.
Mm-hmm.
But when has he learned his lessons?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know, but
you can say that about like good teams learn their lessons. Like Rangers had, I'll give an example. Like Rangers lost 3 on the bounce, and you know what? They learned their lesson. They put away Dumfries line, or however the fuck you say it. They won 5-0 on Friday, and I think they'll be in the ascendancy. Because they've got something going for them.
Yeah,
we don't have much, and and the other thing is like, I don't know who the fuck is the doctor or the physio or the medical staff, but for Newcastle, but they're, we just seem to have players out all the fucking time. So we have Callum Wilson, who can just, he's a bit injury prone. We're fucked without him. We are fucked without him. If it's a long-term injury and we're relying on Dwight, there you go. And if we're relying on...
At least we still have Joe Linton, though.
Yes, Brandon. At least we have Joe Linton. Yes.
Oh, dear. But yeah, it's Steve. Always good to have you on, mate. We're going to move on to the next guys, because we will have Lee and everyone coming up with the last word pretty soon. So, but yeah, thank you very much,
Thanks
mate.
for having me on. Nice seeing you guys again. Let me make this straight. This was fun. It was fun to listen to you guys and talk. It just sucks that our team is fucking terrible.
Yeah, unfortunate, mate. Unfortunate.
Good to have you back.
Speak to you soon, Steve. Take care.
Take care, man. Peace.
See you later, mate. Matthew Howard, the West Ham fan, was in the background. He's disappeared now. I was going to get him on. That would have been interesting. But next we've got Dylan, and we'll bring Andrew in as well. Good evening, afternoon. How are we all?
Dylan.
Well, you know yourself. New season, same story.
Yeah,
You sound really bad, mate.
What?
We cannot hear you properly, I think, right?
Is
Do
that
you
it?
have the problems, Wako? How are you doing, Andrew?
That better?
Good yourself, Brandon?
No, not bad. Okay, I can do better, of course, but,
It's good to see everyone, Kane, but can we just talk about John Joe Shelby, please?
Yeah, but Andrew, you start, mate. I saw you comment in the chat. You quick on.
Mate, everyone keeps giving him this tag of a Hollywood player, and he played 3 great passes, which I'm sure probably give him a 1 on one of the scores that you give him, Cole. I know he got 2, but he won the ball back for the first goal, great.
Yeah.
But as soon as the stamina started coming into it, he was jogging the whole game. He was miles off the pace, miles away. And Matt Ritchie, great cross for the goal. He let the ball bounce in the area, could have given a penalty away for the elbow. We've seen them given, let's say. I just can't see why Lewis is not getting the game ahead of Ritchie now. Like, he's a £50 million left back. Bruce has got to kind of at some point go, well, look, I've sanctioned the deal. I've got to give him a go. You know, I'm a fan of Ritchie at times, but the defence, the whole back 5 today was, they had the moments. Murphy obviously scored a goal, but did he have a good game? And I'm a fan of Murphy, and he didn't. No. Ritchie was poor. John Joe Shelby, every time Hayden was busting the gut to go forward today. The problem was every time he did, we lost the ball, and then it was Shelby that was defending. And well, we both know what Shelby's defending is.
Hayden was playing as a right winger for most of the game. Like the few times I saw him on the ball, he was literally near the corner with the ball, like on the right hand side. And he's not built like he's not a winger as such or a wing back like. But oh Jesus,
You want him sitting, don't you, where Shelby was?
yeah. But he did well. He does well in that position as well.
Game passed them by. The whole centre midfield for me, the Longstaff sub should have happened as soon as we were 2-1 up. We never controlled the game when we went up.
What do you think it is, Andy? Any particular reason why Jamal Lewis hasn't, featured? Well, he barely featured in pre-season, did he? I don't think he featured much in pre-season either. I know we all got on his back a little bit throughout the start to the middle of the season that he needed to be dropped and things, but he's never recovered, has he? And I don't understand why.
It's hard to think because when you looked at him in a Norwich side, you couldn't really look at him and go, "Where's his weakness?" I mean, he's got a turn of pace. I think when the ball is played behind him, he's a little bit suspect.
Yeah. But
if you're playing three at the back, you've got that little bit of cover for him in that situation, but your two centre midfielders are going to help out in that situation, and we do not have them two centre midfielders. And I think that's why Lewis doesn't play. Richie's, as much as he's got the endeavour and he's willing, but he let the ball bounce in the box. You don't let the ball bounce.
You got lucky there,
It's the first thing you're taught when you're a kid. As a defender, don't let the ball bounce in the box. He's 5'8". 2 fouls, 6'2". He's never going to win that ball.
No.
So he put in trouble straight away, and I just think you've got to, at some point, put a bit of faith in the kid. For me, I mean, Richie's better further forward up the pitch. It proved by the cross today. You can't rely on him defensively.
Definitely not. And I think when you got the likes of Jared Bowen and Ben Rama, who are very pacey, I want someone like Jamal Lewis who's got pace, to try and match Bowen or Ben Rama. Matt Ritchie, like you say, he's got the endeavour, but he's not the quickest player anymore. He's getting on in terms of footballing age. So, yeah, it's frustrating, very, very frustrating. Come to yourself, Dylan, in terms of, because the back five were piss poor today, which is surprising, Kraft aside, because usually the four of that five would be half decent.
It'd be solid,
But in terms of personnel, what would you ideally want to see against Aston Villa after today's performance?
Well, ideally a back four and taking, or even bringing Shearer in or Lascelles instead of Kraft. Like, I think you brought it up. Kraft is not a good footballer. He had an okay finish to last season, but he's such a defensive liability, and I think we were caught out by the flank so much today. Like, West Ham had chance after chance coming down either the left or right hand side, and that's no coincidence with Kraft. That kind of was he left centre back or right centre back, one of the other, because the fullbacks we had were always getting up, and West Ham were so quick on the counter. Like, we were always a man sharp really behind. So a back four would probably is something I go with, and then having, say, someone like Hayden kind of slotting in, making it a back five, say a defensive midfield role, and then having two others kind of ahead of him in that central midfield. But the back five today left a lot to be desired, that's for sure.
I know. I think you both touched on it in terms of the two defensive midfielders per se that we've got weren't very defensive today, or don't really help the centre backs out at all. But I'll say it again, that one time where Kraft has come out from here, he's left the back five to get shirt tight to Declan Rice, who's on the ball, which he managed to do, and then he's got there and he's like, oh no, actually I don't fancy trying to put a foot back in, so I'm going to run back to where I was and just let him drive at goal. One of the most informed players in the European Championships as well. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It was just decision making all over the park in the second half was terrible.
Decision making, that's kind of the word that doesn't really fit well with our club, be it on the pitch or off the pitch. But no, I think we'll be fine this season, but it will be a long one.
Yeah.
It's saying a lot when Saint-Maximin's coming so deep to receive the ball.
Yeah.
So deep. He was receiving the
He's
ball
come back
10
nearly to
yards
our
outside
own
of his box.
corner.
Liam made a good point in the watch along. If he normally makes a mistake on the ball, he's normally losing the ball 30, 40 yards up the pitch. So we have got a little bit of a lifeline. So we've got a chance of winning the ball back before it gets to our own box. But today, he was taking unnecessary gambles at time. But it was the only thing that was probably entertaining the people that were at the game.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably his own thought as well. Like, literally no one else other than Wilson could actually really do anything with the ball.
Yeah.
It's like he's thinking, fuck this, I'm nearly better off going on a run myself than actually playing it to someone else.
He's levels above Newcastle. We will not keep
Oh,
saint-maximin in time.
Definitely not.
Can I also something against you guys? Because he clearly picked Joelinton over Dwight Gill to replace Wilson. Is the season for Gill already finished, basically? If he already picked Joelinton now again over Dwight Gill, like what is he going to do for the club?
You don't know what goes through his head, but last season proved, like with Carroll and Gale, he was so hesitant to bring either of them on. He just has no trust in them anymore, I don't think.
Agreed. I think for me, Joelinton offers a little bit more than Gale, and as a whole game, Gale's more.
Really?
If you need a goal the last few minutes, you chuck him on. But I think Joelinton, he proved the ball went up to him a few times today, and he did hold the ball up pretty well. But
he can hold
the
it
gap
up. That's
between
what
the midfield was
decent at.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you take off Wilson, would you really not bring in Dwight Gill instead of Joelinton?
That's the thing, though, because Joelinton he couldn't make something out of nothing. Like he's too awkward.
You can make
in that
a case.
type
You can
of
make
way.
a case for Dwight Gill coming or Joelinton coming on if Wilson stays on. But if you take off Wilson, you have to bring in my opinion,
You
at
have to
least
bring in
Dwight Gill.
an out striker kind of, but.
Because
That's why the game's still opinions in it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're all sat here. We're all sat here, and they're on the big books, apparently.
One thing I will say is the fact that Freddie Woodman. I mean, I don't think he had a bad game, but I think the back five were a little bit dismantled in the second half. And is that the lack of Martin Dubravka?
Potentially, because we don't really know how commanding he was. Do we? He's
you were saying they were rushing out of the ball.
I saw him vocal a few times there, but that is something that has to be kind of
I just
done.
When the crosses were coming in at the beginning of the game, he didn't fill himself full of giving the defenders instructions personally. But I like him as a goalkeeper, I do, and he's still young, but I do think we're going to miss Martin until he comes back.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Good to have you in, lads. Very good to have you in. It's an absolute pleasure having everyone back. But yeah, either are you going to the Villa game? Are you going to the Villa game, Andrew, or?
From what I heard from Lee, it might be short, so I've offered my services. So
yeah,
for the watch along.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So.
We probably will. Because I think quite a few people at the game, to be fair, mate. So.
At least it's good to see your happy faces again after such a long time.
Definitely.
That's if I can manage to get in a room where either my father or my wife's not bothering us. That is.
Just get him involved, mate. That's what I do. But yeah, I'm just gonna, Dylan. I'll just drop you out a minute, mate. Because I'm just gonna bring one of the West Ham fan guys in, and but yeah, we'll speak to you next week, mate. Thanks for dropping in.
Yeah.
Andrew, I'll keep you in for a second. We'll bring in. Matthew, sorry for the wait, mate. I have seen you in the backstage area. I just saw your comment, and I thought, we'll get a West Ham fan perspective and see how you saw it today, mate.
Yes, no problem. To be honest, it was a very good game. I actually really enjoyed it. The first half, as you said,
you mean in general?
The first half, in general, yeah, it was a good game.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Say first 15 minutes until you scored. You were in charge of the game, creating more chances, had more possession. Then middle part of the first half, we stepped it up a bit and we started getting the chances. I thought the goal was both goals were good. As soon as you scored the second goal before the 5 minutes before the end of in the half, you then started to pick up the game again. I don't know what was said at half time, but I think Bruce obviously made a mistake.
Yeah.
And we were able to basically take charge of the second half. We were lucky when it came to that penalty. I would admit that. When I first saw it, I thought, that was a penalty. But on looking at it again through the TV, it was a case of no, he got the ball first and then knocked it on to Fornells.
Yeah, it's I think it was. Yeah, it was. I can't argue with anything you've said there at all. And I think second half, like you said, whatever was said at halftime, I don't know. We haven't really changed anything. We've not tried to exploit any sort of weaknesses. But then Jared Bowen and Ben Rama and Fornells just kicked on a gear. Antonio's done well as well. And I did say this before the game. I do like Antonio. He's a big, strong lad. He's decent on the ball and he can create chances. And he took his chance very, very well. There were a few people in the chat that felt Woodman could have done better. I didn't personally. I don't know about you, boys. I thought it was an excellent finish from Antonio. To be fair,
thought Woodman could have done better for that goal. Could slightly position himself slightly to the other side, like a couple of steps either way. It would have been. And one forward, it would have cut down the angle, but he's a young keeper.
Yeah.
You say you guys shouldn't have any problems with him. But Antonio's a smart player as well. He's quick, powerful, but it wasn't just him. It was Rice and Souček getting forward as well.
Absolutely.
That were pushing the team up, and we were keeping you back, and we nullified Wilson and Maximin to a large amount in that second half. I could not believe he took.
It was a hell of a strike from Antonio. I don't know if Dubravka would have stayed there either or Darlow. I think it was a class finish.
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant finish personally as well.
It was a good finish. That's what he brings to.
So I don't know if any of our other goalkeepers would have done different.
Is it not more the left back? Is it not Richie's position that gives Antonio the space?
Yeah, he does. To be honest, I agree with that. He pulled. They were too busy watching the ball and not watching the player. So they were getting pulled towards the ball, and that was it. It was once soon as Antonio got the ball, you thought, yeah, that's it. That's going in the back of the net. I do not know.
You all know what? Yeah, you know what Antonio's about? Pace, power. He's always going to hit the target from that position.
That's it. Yeah. It's I do not know why he pulled Wilson off.
No, especially not especially for Joe Linton, but not changing the formation, just a straight swap. It was a weird one when you've got to try and get.
If I was him, I would have played Wilson and then put Joe Linton next to him.
Yeah, definitely. You're trying to chase 2 goals.
Exactly. You need your player. Wilson always scores against us.
But that's the point what I try to make, like with the other guests coming on, like. If you take off Wilson, you have to bring in Dwight Gill. I mean, what kind of message is this to Dwight Gill?
Exactly. I saw something earlier on. I think that people saying Dwight Gill is basically wasting away at Newcastle. And to be honest, I agree.
Yeah,
I think you leave. I think you leave before the end of the window.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he didn't as well. What? Just
with how you guys play. Sorry, go on, carry on.
No, carry on, mate. What were you going to say?
I was going to say with the way you guys played first half, if you can carry on playing like that throughout the season, you'll be well okay. You will be like anywhere between say 12th and 8th, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, that's very nice of you to say, and I hope you are absolutely right, mate. What I'll do before you go is Declan Rice kicking on from a fantastic, couple of months away with England. But I said this before I watched along. I never really give Declan Rice the respect in terms of believing the hype that was around, because there were talks of him a season or so ago going for being worth around 60 million, and you're like, what? Yeah. And then obviously we were comparing him to Sean Longstaff because Man United wanted Sean Longstaff for 50 million, who then has like Declan Rice has far surpassed that. And then watching him in the Euros, like he was absolutely fantastic. What is your ambition with him? Because obviously, if he continues the way he is, and I said this to like, I don't look at West Ham and think we've got to go and beat them, because you've got some very, very good players. To be fair, there are teams that we'll look at in the Premier League and think we should beat them. We've got enough about us, but we don't. I think we'll all agree we don't look at West Ham and think we've it's a foregone conclusion. Do you think you can keep hold of Declan Rice? Do you think someone comes in and gets him? Where do you need to be aiming to keep hold of him now?
To be honest, I'm hoping we can keep him this season.
Yeah.
If he carries on the way he is, next season you're looking someone like Chelsea, Man U, Man City, Liverpool will come in and they will put the bids in. To keep him, we've got to basically what we've got to do is got to invest in the team. We've got to get a striker, central defenders, another midfielders, if defensive or attacking, just to push on, because we've got to finish in European places again to keep him.
Yeah,
he wants to win stuff. He wants to play in the top competitions. So we've got to finish there.
I have to say though,
in those positions.
I hear numbers around 100 million for Declan Rice. I think if someone is crazy enough to offer that, you should have taken it anyway, any day, right?
Oh yeah, the owners will take it.
You can easily find, or easily you can find definitely a player for 100 mil who has the same qualities as Declan Rice, and you still have a good profit.
Yeah, definitely. If they got £100 million offer, they would take it. The fans would
you take it?
To be honest, if I was a businessman, I probably would take it. But as a fan, no, I wouldn't. He's worth more to the team.
Yeah,
really? I saw that today with the runs he was making. How he was stopping attacks, pushing the team forward. So he's worth more than that to the team, to the fans.
Okay. I'm not sure if I agree.
Markets, he probably is worth 80 million, especially with Grealish going for like 100.
Yeah, it's a crazy market at the moment. It really is.
Man United need number 6.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, at this moment in time as well, like if you had to keep one, who would it be? Would it be him or Souček?
I hate to say it, I'd actually keep Rice.
Okay.
Souček is a good midfielder, but we can go out and we can find other midfielders that will do that job. If we can keep Rice, it's something to build the team around. I would love to keep them both, to be honest.
Yeah, of course,
because they complement each other.
Yeah,
I just totally think the other way around, like you do. I just would keep Souček and
that's because you're obsessed with the Czech Republic. It's biased. You're biased.
No, still, I mean, 100 million for Declan Rice. That's I don't think you can get 100 million for Souček. So
we've got to look at the game today, haven't we, and say, where did Newcastle lose the game today? And for me, it was centre midfield, and Declan Rice is part of that. So, he might not be flash on the eye, but he does the industrial stuff. I wasn't a big fan of him in the past, but he just proves time and time again that he does what he's expected to do.
Yeah, he does the basics very well.
Yeah, he does. He does do them very, very well. Just before I let you go then, Matthew, where do you guys expect to finish this season?
I'll be happy with... I'm expecting top half of the table, definitely. Probably somewhere between 8th and 4th. I'll be happy to finish. If we can get back into the Europa League, I'll be very happy.
Fair enough, mate. Matthew, absolute pleasure having you on, mate. Thank you very much for dropping by. Thank you for being part of the watch along as well, and good luck to you boys for the rest of the season, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Same to you. I look forward to when you come down to our house.
Appreciate that, mate. Take care, Matthew.
You get you there.
No problem. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Nice guy. Right, Andrew, if you need to jump off, mate, you can. Otherwise, you can stay on.
I'm fine. I've just run upstairs, mate. She was making the tea, so
cool. Well,
I always like it if you get fans over from other teams, though. From
definitely. You've got to have one in, haven't you? Definitely. But yeah, we'll bring our final guest in, which is Diane. Oh, no, I think we got Diane and Callum. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to jump out for 2 minutes, Brandon.
See what it is.
All right, boys. Good to see you again.
Nice.
Good to see you. What you made of the game, mate?
Myself.
Very good game, my boy. The first half is all right, but second is playing rubbish.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I was quite optimistic, like everyone else, after the second half. After the first half. when you manage to get. I pretty much completely agreed with Steve, who you got on for half time as far as the first half went, but then second half, obviously, it all sort of collapsed. And I think some of Newcastle's defensive weaknesses, especially in those full back positions with Matt Ritchie, and with who's the other one on the right side?
Murphy.
With Jacob Murphy. I think they were really exposed because they're not good defenders. And on the counter attack, especially in the midfield, I think we've all said this before, but John Joe Shelvey's not got the aggression. He's not got the desire. He's not got the fitness. And it's really a shame, I think, because when I sort of look at him compared to Declan Rice, I don't really see Declan Rice as a better footballer. With the ball. Yeah, with the ball, I think John Joe Shelvey's as talented a footballer as the likes of Declan Rice, but Declan Rice is obviously younger and he's got more aggression. Yeah, I think it's really a mentality thing with Shelvey.
It's a little bit harsh on Declan Rice now, though.
Yeah, I mean, Shelvey used to play for Liverpool, and once upon a time, people were talking about him being in the England squad and being a really good player. But yeah,
he only stand out for Swansea and for us in the Championship, and he has those odd games for us in the Premier League.
Indeed.
I don't know if
it's a mentality thing with Shelvey, and I think he's not cut out for this
100%.
For this league.
What was your guys' opinion on Wilson in the second half? Because I thought he was, although he held the ball up at times, I don't think he got in the game in the second half.
I was shockingly Wilson is the substitution. I thought if he scored more goals against West Ham because he loves to go goals against West Ham ever. I was disappointing, really.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Brad.
I don't think you can blame it really. I don't really think you can blame it though on Callum Wilson. I think it was lack of
service.
How do you say that? Service. Mate. Yeah, sometimes looking for my words. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I can't really blame Wilson because at the end of the day, he scored a goal, which you have to give him credit for. And
100%.
I mean, you can talk a little bit about those front three, but for me, the focus needs to be on the midfield and the defense, because it doesn't really matter how the likes of Saint-Maximin or Wilson play when you concede 4 goals, does it?
Correct. Yeah, totally agree.
Plus, I have to say, Wilson had one other good chance though with the back heel. That could have gone in. That was a smart move, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah,
he didn't get
it could have gone in, but you don't really expect him to score a back heel, do you?
No, but I thought it was a smart move though. It was probably the best option he could have chose.
I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed watching Saint-Maximin send Declan Rice for a hot dog 5 times before he crossed the ball for Wilson's goal. Brilliant.
He's got a skill, and Saint-Maximin. He's got a good skill. He just keep dribble. He's everywhere.
Who would you guys pick though for your squad? Would you pick Declan Rice, who was probably valued on 100 million, or would you pick ASM for your team?
ASM.
Yeah.
Well, they're different players. Is the thing.
Without being biased.
I thought ASM should have played for France in the Euros because France were too predictable. I thought. In the Euros. And I know he plays for Newcastle, and France have obviously got the likes of Mbappe, but I think he just adds like volatility. The thing is, the team kind of has to be playing well, I think, in order for Saint-Maximin to play well. And if you haven't got the ball, then he kind of becomes a bit of a passenger, like he did in the last 20 minutes. But I'm not really blaming him for that. Like, he's just that kind of player. Like, you need to have possession of the ball for him to be effective at all.
Yeah, guys, I think it's time Miggy helped him out as well. Going forward, you know, he does a lot of running and he tracks back, but we're not seeing enough in the final third off Miggy at the minute. I'm a massive fan of Miggy, but I know he's been to Copa America and whatnot, but he's just not offering enough. Even his pass for Richie's cross wasn't the best pass.
I got a bold question for you guys, though. Is it time to sell Miggy?
No, I wouldn't sell him. I wouldn't sell him.
No.
No? So not if,
Brandon,
for example... yeah, go on.
At the moment, it's not time to sell anyone because who are we getting in?
Right.
This is the thing. Newcastle got rid of how many players over the summer, and we've made one signing. So it's like, what I was speaking to my dad on Facebook in the chat, and he said to me, if you stand still in this league, then you're asking to go down. So it's kind of like what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And this is the story of Newcastle over recent years. It's the squad is continually. I mean, you get sort of injections here and there. So maybe one player a season kind of injects something into the team, but then overall, we've maybe got four or five players maximum who are good players, and the rest of them are either average Premier League players or relegation fodder. So
let me rephrase the question otherwise. Beginning of transfer market when it opened, and any team, doesn't really matter if it's Premier League or whatever, came in and they said we pay 30 million for Almiron. Would you take it to open up the transfer budget?
30 million.
As long as I knew there was as long as I knew it was going to be reinvested back into buying a player, I would take 30 million from him.
Would that buy you Ward-Prowse? Because that's who I'd get if I had 30 million.
They pay 30 million for him? For Ward-Prowse?
Yeah, he's 27. I don't think he's worth any more than that.
I think for 30 million, you can probably, with all the respect to Miggy though, I think you can buy a better player than Miggy is. I mean, I don't think the Premier League is the right fit for him. I think he would do great in the Italian league or Spain even. But I don't think the Premier League is probably just a little bit
too physical.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he's too one-dimensional as well as a player. He's
head down.
Like he's good in some games, and it kind of depends on how you play him. I think he's better against weaker opposition, and if he's played in the right position, and Steve Bruce can tactically figure it out amongst those front players, then he can have a good game. But it's too inconsistent is the thing. Sometimes he has like a good half, and then the second half today he wasn't that good, or he just disappears from games. So overall, for me, he's like he doesn't do enough.
And the reason he stays in the team is his defensive duties that he does, isn't it? Really.
Well, he does. I think you're talking about Almiron, right?
Yeah. The reason he sometimes stays in the team for me is because regardless whether he's having a bad game or not, you know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I mentioned him being sold for like 30 million, but is he worth 30 million though?
No.
No, bit cheaper.
20.
What you paid for him? 22 and a half, whatever it was.
We bought him for 20 as well, right? From Atlanta.
Sorry?
We bought 20. We paid for Almiron 20 as well, right? I think.
22 and a half or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
22 and a half, something. Yeah, they were paying.
I'll come to all of you just before we round it up because we've got Lee outside the ground coming up with the instant match reaction. Well, it's not instant because of a good hour ago, but you know what I mean. I'll come to Diane first. Predictions for the Aston Villa game, mate, score wise.
It's hard to be positive after that. If we did in the first half, I think we'll get a result. But yeah. The thing is, I can't be too upset about today because, like, ultimately we got beat by a better team, but as well, like, I think Aston Villa are probably a better team as well. So if I'm being realistic, I think we're getting beat, but I'll be optimistic and say we get a draw.
Okay, Callum, yourself, buddy.
I'd same here. I think probably the draw as well. So I could say 1-1.
1-1. Andrew.
I think Villa by 2, maybe 3-1, 2-0.
Brandon, that hurts, by the way. That really hurts.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Do I really have to answer the question? I don't know. Let me think about it for the week. I can't
No,
answer it.
no, everyone else has answered. You got to answer it now.
Okay, I go for the draw as well. 1-1.
I do have one. I do have one question to ask you boys. I wasn't really sure what position Isaac Hayden was playing in today, because it almost seemed like he was an attacking midfielder for some of it.
Some of it he was there, mate. Some of it seemed like he was out on the right wing. Like I don't know where he was, to be honest. I don't think he knew. And then he moved into centre half towards the end of the game, so it was really.
Well, he was clearly next to Shelby, but
yeah,
I think Bruce probably said to Shelby like, "You're gonna stay back, and Hayden's gonna do more the offensive role." I think Bruce sees maybe now that John Shelby is a lazy player, and that he can better stay back to give us magical passes going forward, I guess.
Yeah.
At least that's what I like to think.
I mean, that needs to be the other way round, because you don't want a lazy player doing defensive work in midfield. Like Isaac Hayden's better as a defensive midfielder because,
Carl, I don't know about you, but sorry, I'm wondering, Shelby's had a bit of a niggle all the way through pre-season. Yes, we're well aware. So is the reason that Shelby was the one sitting and not going forward to conserve energy? For me, if he's not fit enough, put Sean in.
No, this is what we don't understand. And the fact that because of that, we know that, and Isaac's he's come back from a horrendous injury. So we know he didn't look fully fit today, to be honest. So you've got 2 not fully fit centre midfielders, but you've got 1 fully fit midfielder on the bench. And then you've also, like, I don't want to be starting Jeff Hendrick, but you have him. And then you've got, and even Matty Longstaff's not even getting on the bench. So it's, mate, it begs belief. But it comes back to the same thing about Jamal Lewis. Like, why is Jamal Lewis still not getting a look in? Like, it's a very, very strange one. And then you've got Jamal Lascelles, but Amel Craft starting over him. It's just mind-boggling, mate, mind-boggling. But I'm sure we'll be having a similar conversation next week, unfortunately. That being said,
I've got to go, lads. Take care. Okay.
Absolute pleasure having you all on, guys.
All the best.
We'll be ending.
You guys are on. Great to see you.
Take care. But yeah, that will be the end of the fan reaction, lads. We've got Lee and the rest of the guys coming up with the outside the ground videos, instant match reaction, the last word. Lots more to come. But thank you all again for dropping by. It's been great having you all back on for the first game of the season, bar the result, of course. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next weekend at Villa Park. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Hit that like button.
Check it out.